Let's go chat. Copy that. What's goody? Hey, hey, what do you say? My body's telling me she had don't wanna hurt nobody. Hey, up the couple of Curvy, up the Carlo Parks. Good chat with you, mate. What's happening, Rangi? Garanti, Pehia. 2 days off Oaks Savo. Whereabouts, my man? Update the people were up, jip. Oi, fam, do you wanna have you all caught? I seen Sean's gone and posted today. We should we react to it, fam? What do you reckon, chat? Should we react to Shawnee boys? Or Shawnee Plunket? Or Shawnee Plunket? Should we react to it? Oh, actually, let me see my notes. What do we have on? Oh no, we got time. We got time to do it, chat. We got time to do it. There we go. Hey, why is this not working? Did I get the right link? Connect software should be going. Can you hear me all good, fam? It says streaming. Do it again. It says streaming. Let's try it again. See if that would. Come on, mate. All good. Tuesday in South Auckland, brother, and Manurewa, Tawhio, Kipa, Tamati, Williams. Damn. What happened, fam? Anybody know? Got the tea? Anybody got the tea? Got the tea here, Modi, ora? Let us know. Yep. Oi, did you all catch the Sean Plunket, myself, George Ngatai, and old Shawnee Sean? Did you catch? If not, let's have a little. You can have a little watch, and then you can give us your thoughts. We'll do a little watch on here. Oh, yeah, you did. Share a fine note, Nabi net mahi. Oh, here, then I'll play it fine. I'll play it here. And yes, we're not on Radio Aotearoa anymore. We are now officially just an online podcast, live stream. We'll still do it 4 to 7 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday. Still have guests. I guess will still come back and we'll get many more. And the cool thing is we're not bound by the BSA anymore being on here. So doing it this way, so we can. There's not as much rules as there is. There's none really. We can run it the way we want. But obviously, in order to get a bread and a milk out of it, we have to. We're going to run ads and stuff from sponsors. We're working on getting a few. If you know anybody that might be keen, just small businesses or medium ones too, they might want to buy a few packages. Karina's got a few out there. Why? He hasn't changed, still the same. Or you know our VJ I love. Yeah, bro, George just digging his hole deeper. Even Sean Plunket knows he's a crooked and full of it. The interview was cracker. Oh, here we are. Oh, true. Let me just go live here. I'm just going to play it. Shoo. We'll run it up again because just for those that haven't seen it. Yeah. Shooting in South Auckland, multiple schools on lockdown. Damn. It's probably in my notes. Maybe I should read them. Here we go. No, not in my notes. Is it? Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this news. What's the most reputable source of news? South Auckland shooting. See what the facts are. See what we can find out. 2 dead. Let's go to the great RNZ. Ready for this one finally? Straight RNZ. See what old RNZ reckons. Push this like this and go here. Share screen. Yeah, share that. There we go, finally. Let's have a Jackie. 2 dead in serious incident in South Auckland. 2 people have been found dead on Gambia Place in South Auckland. Police are responding to an unfolding serious incident in South Auckland, which left at least 2 people dead at about 1:45 p.m. Oh, not long ago, only a couple of hours ago. Emergency services responded to reports of a woman unresponsive at an address in Gambia Place. Police wrote on Facebook, sadly, she was pronounced dead at the scene. During a search of the property, police have located a man who was also pronounced deceased. Cordons are in place on Mahia Road in Wattlestown. Members of the public are advised to avoid the area. The incident prompted 2 schools, Te Haikura Kiwa and Lee Bank Primary School, to go into lockdown. Both has since come out of lockdown. Te Haikura Kiwa confirmed its response to the incident on Thursday afternoon. Please do not come to school or phone the school, as you will not be attended to, and this may cause disruption to the management of this incident and could potentially place yourself and or staff and our students' safety at risk, the school wrote on social media and its website at the time. Lee Bank Primary School, which is located across the road, also went into lockdown in response to the incident. We have come out of lockdown and all students, staff and persons on site are safely accounted for. Everyone did extremely well and responded to instructions, Lee Bank Principal Caroline McLeod posted on social media. And after the lockdown had ended, a notice will be going out to parents, caregivers tonight to provide some more information on what has occurred today. All right, out the gate, chat. Did you say have a jack? Have a jack? What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with having a jack, is it? What kind of jack are you thinking of? Oh yeah, I know many of you may not have seen it. I get it. Okay, for those that haven't seen it, fam, if you've already seen it, it's all good. But I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this video of today's interview around, and any questions that you have while I'm here, feel free to ask. If there's any good ones, maybe I'll cut in while it's happening. But yeah, holler at your boy if you got any. If you got any questions, mate? Any questions? Bro, presentation screen share there. Boom, screen share. I'm sure my device. What is going on here? Oh, I know. Sorry, find it. I'm just getting used to all this. Let's go here. Can you see me good? So if you haven't seen the interview around or the exchange between myself, George, and Sean Plunket, I'll play it here. And if any questions, put it in the chat because it did happen today. Yeah, let's get it, fam. Let's get it, fam. Let's get it. Let's get it at the fun. All right, here we go, chat. Here we go, Chattanoogas.
All right, now to a story that's been making news on social media. And yesterday I read of the resignation, maybe forced resignation, of George Ngatai, who's been associated with Radio Aotearoa as the New Zealand First candidate for Papakura.
Any questions that you have too, fam, put them in the chat. Any good ones, maybe if they're worth stopping the stream, we'll answer them, but otherwise I'll answer them after. Sure.
I got a text from George this morning. He said he wanted to explain his side of the story. This came amidst a flurry of social media posts questioning George's integrity from radio or Aotearoa radio presenter Shubz. And George
volunteer.
wanted to have a chance to have a say, so he joins us live on the phone now. George, good morning to you. Kia ora.
Hey, morning, Sean.
Why did you resign as a candidate for New Zealand First yesterday?
Well, I suppose there's 2 things. One is we were dealing with a staffing matter, and obviously that's been sort of referred now to the New Zealand Police around the request for things and money and stuff like that. Look, let them actually deal with that. Sean,
sorry, have you reported someone to the New Zealand Police?
Oh, yeah, no.
What for?
So it was actually around the fact that it was short of extortion, and it was
Short of
if you
extortion, so
don't
it wasn't
actually-
extortion, yeah.
Well, no, it was requesting money, and they said that if you don't actually pay this money, then I will actually blow it all up on social media.
Well, it's a bit
And
late for
unfortunately,
that, isn't
was-
it, George?
Well, no, it is. Well, you see, unless we actually did what he
So
was
I
requesting,
asked
then
you a
it was-
question, George. Why did you resign as a New Zealand First candidate?
Well, because I didn't want this matter that has come out in the social media to actually be responsible for my campaign and obviously the campaign of my colleagues within New Zealand First. You know, you don't want to actually be responsible for the party losing 2%, 3%, 4% because I didn't want to.
Do you
actually
think
stand
you're a
down.
2% advantage to a political party you stand for, George?
No, but anything that takes the focus of New Zealand First and what New Zealand First stands for is actually a good thing. The party does great, Sean. Everybody knows that. But I did not want this to actually be an issue.
There were
that
some of
media
those
would
social
stand
media
in the
posts showed
leader.
that you were actually happy to stand for almost anyone, George.
Well, look, there was a time in my application to becoming a candidate where I was given a decision I wasn't happy with. Obviously, we had discussions.
I'll just chime in there, fam. Don't forget this time that he's speaking of is only 2 months ago. He does say in his statement, his public statement, that it was earlier this year, which, earlier than now, earlier than this week, but it was only 2 months ago, and I think he's only been a candidate just over a month, so weeks before being announced as a candidate, which actually, if you think about it, that's crazy too, eh? What changed in between the fact that he was not considered as a candidate to the time where he is considered? Like, what changed? Did you give money? Did you give blow mahi? What happened? I don't know, and we can only speculate, but yeah.
It was Shubz that actually said, oh, look, why don't I actually look at connecting you with people like the other two parties?
Now, okay, this is another good one too. What did he say? It was Shubz. It was Shubz. So not taking responsibility, no accountability of the man, saying, hey, yeah, I did seek, to go with other parties because I thought I wouldn't be taken. Just, it was Shubz. I'm not the one trying to run for politics, son.
And then I said, oh, okay, well, look, I am still having to actually work through this, and let's actually go through this path. Those engagements...
George, you're not making a lot of sense there, mate. Were you wanting to stand for other parties before you stood for New Zealand First?
Oh, no.
You never approached any other parties to ask to be a candidate?
Not before New Zealand First.
After New Zealand First?
Not even after New Zealand First.
So you never approached any other parties to ask about being a candidate?
I actually had engaged with Shubz to actually talk with them.
No, George, answer my question, please.
Yep.
Have you ever approached any other party beside New Zealand First seeking to be a candidate?
I had not discussed anything like that.
Have you ever approached any other political party beside New Zealand First in the hope of being a candidate?
I had not actually discussed that opportunity.
It's a yes or no question, George.
Well, like every other political person, Sean, it's I have not discussed that opportunity.
So you've never communicated with other parties in that regard?
Well, we haven't had that conversation.
Okay. Let's get back to your complaint to the police. What have you complained about?
About the fact that if I hadn't actually paid some money or given some shares or allowed, obviously, a volunteer in our organisation to get what he wanted, he was going to actually...
Was Shubz a volunteer or an employee?
He was a volunteer.
Did you make any representations to him as to how he might be recompensed for his work?
Well, Sean, we've got 19 volunteers, and so therefore...
You don't pay anyone in your organisation, George?
I pay 2 staff members, Sean.
Do you pay yourself? Do you pay?
No.
Who owns the
I
company?
don't.
Who owns Aotearoa Radio?
I do. Myself and my wife.
Okay, and you don't get any money from it then?
No, I don't, no.
Do you get income from the government or any grants from the government for running Aotearoa Radio?
No, we don't, Sean.
Okay, how are you funded then?
Now, this is actually a key piece in this whole thing too. When he's asked, do you get any government grants? I don't know. I have been told that there was that he was very close to getting funding. Now, again, like I can only speculate whether it's true or not. I don't know if he got it, but if he did, surely break a little bit off for Karina and I. Yeah, so there's different funding pools that come from it, and what we were told from the start was that we would be given. We would. Sorry, if we pushed ratings, so if we got the ratings up as high as we could, we were on about 0 point something, and we got it up to about 1.4 was the last conversation that we had. And apparently once we got to 1.6, there was a pool of about 1.6 or $7 million that was available to the station, which then could put us on salaries and that. And obviously we're at 1.4 from 0.4. We're thinking, oh, well, we're doing pretty good. And this is only a couple of weeks in, maybe a month in, even less. So did he get to that mark and get that funding? Maybe. I don't know. I can only speculate. But the funding was meant to be not taxpayer money, but actually corporate money. So a corporate fund. So the big brands like Coca-Cola, you know those big brands, apparently they give, and I've confirmed this with Kim Adams, who also works at the station and has been in radio for 40 years. Shout out, Kim. There is a pool that is given to a bureau to shell out to people that are on radio, depending on ratings. He told me that pool was about 200 million, and that if we got to 1.6, we'd get like a 1.6 million or some shit out of it. I can't remember the exact figures, but I don't know. I don't know if he did get any funding yet or not. We just had to. Yeah. George would know. He is someone that knows how to get government contracts. You know, he's got contracts for police, contracts for all of the different things. His wife's been, in Oranga Tamariki for a long time. So they've been in like that whole, they've understood how to get government contracts and funding for years. So whether or not they achieved it in the radio space, and I helped them achieve that by pushing it and building the content and all the mahi that Karina and I did, I don't know. I don't know because I don't have access to those funding pools like George does. But you got to remember too, even during COVID, George made millions and millions, which he happily talks about. George made millions and millions of dollars through COVID from testing and from vaccinating people as well, which again was another bad look on, I think, from my perspective. If you're a party that's going against vaccine injury, it's probably not good. And it's not, I'm not saying anti-jab or pro-jab, be whatever you want to be. But he was obviously a part of all of that stuff. And you could say to me now, "Oh, Shubz, why don't you look into it all?" Yeah, true. I had my blinders on, and that's my fault. Something that actually did stir me up a little bit was Samantha Costello's video, because then I just started feeling a bit icky about it all, and then I started realizing I wasn't being treated right because I had already started to reach out for a bit of support and for myself and for Karina, and it was just falling on deaf ears and was turning it into your mental health. It's all about my mental health now. My mental health's no good. We would never stand in the way of people getting paid employment. I'm thinking, hold on a minute. You promised you'd pay my rent. You promised you'd do all of these different things, which you never. And verbal contract is enough too. He's also admitted in emails, which if you want, I can go into them and find them and put them up too. But anyway, I'll stop bloody pausing because I've talked too much here.
We do advertising, and obviously we've run a very tight ship with regards to that advertising, and it is all corporate sponsorship advertising. So we just work through that.
Who are your corporate sponsors?
Well, we've got around about 90 odd advertisers that regularly contribute to our organisation.
Do you get any government advertising money?
No, we don't.
Okay. And George, and you say that Shubz was just a volunteer, and that was always the way. You never said you'd pay for his gas or anything else?
Oh, well, we did actually contribute because he had to come from West Auckland, so he used one of our work.
Okay, George, can I ask you then, what is the complaint you have laid with the police?
Well, it was the extortion around the fact that...
So have you laid a complaint of extortion?
I have actually laid a complaint to the police.
Of what?
Of actually that type of request.
No, you lay a complaint, it's got to be a crime. What crime are they investigating?
The request for money.
Okay, what has that got to do with you resigning from New Zealand First?
Well, I couldn't actually deal with this publicly, and he was going to deal with it.
Well, you're dealing with it publicly now.
Yeah, because I resigned, Sean.
Okay, and you're saying you never promised Shubz any money?
We were always actually saying that if you want to actually succeed in this business, advertising is the way to go.
And you had advertising, so why didn't you share some of that with him? Did you have advertising in his show?
We had advertising, but it wasn't actually collected from his show.
Did you have any advertising in his show, George?
We did.
And you never shared any of that revenue with him?
That's another key point, fam. Whether you garnered the advertising from my show or not, the fact is you're playing it on the show that I'm putting in the work to build, and you're monetizing off of that while I'm talking, and then people leading in from that into the breaks. And I know because I've been all around the country since this started, doing a few odd jobs here and there. And shout out to the people that have, given us little bits of things to do to keep the fires burning. And people have come up to me saying, "Bro, I listened to you on the radio. I never knew what Radio Aotearoa was, but then I started listening, all of this stuff." So, he's benefiting off the back of us being on that station and, bringing our social media presence to try and raise up these ratings and access these funding pools, but also making money off advertising off the back of off the back of our show. And Sean makes a real valid point there. Like, whether or not he got the advertising from people who wanted to advertise on my show, it's still during the period that I'm talking, which we're bringing an audience to. You know what I mean? It's not like I was a little, and it's not, I'm not saying that I'm like the king or anything, but it's not like I was a little nobody that no one knew and just came on and just wanted to give me a little opportunity. Grateful as for that whole experience. But, and Auntie Rangi actually brought up a good point there, talking about saying there's a staffing issue. Staffing is usually when you've got paid employees, and then obviously I'm one of the staffing. But the thing is, it's also a business. It's a private company, Radio Aotearoa. It's not a charity. It's not a church. It's not a, you know what I mean? So volunteers, you've got to be real careful with that word. And anyway, we'll continue.
Sean, we have, like a budget. That
well, George, I'll be honest, George, you always promised you'd pay me something for simulcasting the platform, and you never did.
Well, no, because it was the same, Sean. It was actually a quick quote.
Well, George, I know when I felt like I got ripped off. George, I felt like I got ripped off.
No.
Shubz,
Sean,
would you be prepared to discuss this with Shubz?
Oh, I would be prepared to discuss.
Okay, well, he's on the line now. He's been listening to all of that, George.
Yep.
So, Shubz.
Just quickly, and this is the thing. When I've come out and said that there's many people who have reached out to me that have been ripped off by George and Raywin, I wasn't just talking like bull jive. There's one of the biggest names in media in this country that George is ripped off, and then he believes he got ripped off. And if you think, oh, Shubz, whatever, you're just having a cry, you're just being, nah, bro, I put in so many hours into this. And I was promised so many things that were never delivered. He's talking about the advertising earlier too. The advertising infrastructure was never ever there, and it might be there now, but it's taken from May or from April 20th for us to even have it to go and get our own advertising in that. The infrastructure wasn't even there, meaning the onboarding for us to where to send the invoices to. We lost a lot of people that were keen to advertise with us because George took too long to respond, or he didn't even respond at all where to send them to. And this is the thing, but yeah, obviously. And if he's going to do it to someone like Sean and I, of course he's going to do it to little small fries. And that's why I've heard from many people inside of Destiny Church, especially because that's that's obviously the church that he's been a part of for 20 years, George Ngatai, that have been burnt too, because they're good Christians that want to just do the work, because obviously they see George buying Teslas for Brian and Hannah, buying them, shouting them first-class flights around the world and stuff like that. Optically, that looks good. And if you're someone that looks at someone like Brian and Hannah, and this is no shade on Brian and Hannah, this is just literally how George and Raywin obviously operate. They've used a lot of people within that organization, that church, that have just been good Christians trying to help people, to just use them for free, or what they call voluntary labor, I guess.
What do you say to what George Ngatai said this morning?
What part? He said a lot.
Well, did he ever promise you money, or was it just you were always a volunteer?
Of course. No, I was never even told. I was never ever told I was a volunteer. The only time that I ever seen that I was a volunteer was in the first ever email that was sent to the whole
look, that's a lie.
organisation.
No. Let him, George, you've had your go. Let him.
Okay, I want to cut in there too, because I seen someone actually had a good comment and they're saying, oh, Shubz, you did say you were a volunteer on there. Yeah, no, I said I was a volunteer. But what I'm saying is George never pushed to me that I was a volunteer. Besides the initial email that he sent to the organisation, every time it was about, well, you do this, get money, all of these things. We push the ratings up. You know, I was promised a lot. So yes, I was just like, well, when people would say, oh, you're a paid shill, or you're paid by this and that, or you're owned by this and that, I just said, no, I'm not, because I'm literally not getting paid. You know, so, and also I worked way too many hours to just be a volunteer just for that organization. Even if I go back to my original proposal that I sent to George, which part of it was my social media and helping grow the station through my social media, I spent hours and hours. I edit every reel. I put all of, and then all the guests, there's so much work, more than just 15 hours a week, which is still a lot of time if you think about it. 15 hours a week, 3 hours a day, Monday to Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. We did a show. We never missed a day all the way until we got kicked off of radio the other day. What was it? Tuesday? Tuesday was the day that we were told, and we only know that we got kicked off of radio because it was put on Facebook, and myself and Karina, formal, you're done, or your show is done. The only way we know is because it was put on Facebook. And the funny thing is, if you look at that post, it was written by Raywin, and coming from Raywin, but it's George that posts it, because obviously he's a dinosaur and doesn't realize that he's posting via his social media, and we can see that it says posted by George Ngatai on Radio Aotearoa. But I still haven't received anything to tell me that I'm no longer required on radio or my time slot's gone at all.
George, you literally said to me, George, are you going to let me talk? Because you've had how long to talk?
And that's another thing too, fam. Like, the bro's been talking for ages, and then I go to have my say, and then Nick wants to cut me off straight away.
It's all about your narrative, just like you running away.
Oh no, it's all
Hang on, Shubz, say your piece. Say your piece, Shubz.
Oh, look, this is the first time, Sean, I've ever had the opportunity to talk with Shubz. He's never ever actually.
Hold on a minute, George. I don't see my phone ringing.
Hang on.
So what he's saying there is he's saying that since the communication breakdown, he hasn't been able to talk to me. But I've never got a call from him. I've never got a call from him to say, hey, Neff, it's okay. Because I remember, guys, George is also my mum's relation, his uncle. So I haven't got a call or anything from George since this all broke down. So, oh, Sean, this is the first time that I've been able to talk to Shubz. Like, you couldn't pick up the phone and call me and call your nephew, because this is all about whānau, and let's become, if you've seen the group chat and how I changed it, if you look at that reel, and it says Raywin Bana left, Māori Murdochs, and then I added Raywin Bana back to the chat, and then I say, hey, Auntie, might need you back here for more martial kōrero, and for our mental health. Because that group, and then I changed it to work at exploitation, because that group was created because we were going to become the Māori Murdochs of media, which the Murdoch family, they're an Australian family, Rupert Murdoch, they're huge, and that was the dream that George was selling to us. Let's go, we'll be the Māori Murdochs. You can even go on his Facebook, he even talks about it and calls us as journalists. He probably might delete the video, but we got the receipts, we still got it. Anyway, so he goes on there, that's what happens in that group chat, right? When that happens, and the whole Marshall references, because Marshall Aluwalia, the local board guy, we got all that information from Raywin. And then Raywin ends up going to the Herald last week and acting like gangs are coming for her and all of this stuff. 2 days later, they park a New Zealand First wrapped van with Winston Peters' face on it and George's face on it at a South Auckland train station, and then go on public transport. But she's scared of gangs and all of this stuff, and scared for her life. Like, they're full of shit there. But anyway.
I do not want to accept.
No, George, just stop. Just let Shubz have a say. Hang on, Shubz, you go ahead, George, shush.
I don't know. George might cut in again. He might not want me to talk. Sounds like he's trying to censor me. But, so, first of all, to the first question that you asked, did he discuss paying me money? Yes, he even discussed paying me rent on like the second week that I was on radio. I said, hey, I need help. He said, oh, just wait a couple of weeks till Speedy. Yes, you did, Al. When we talked about Speedy signs, you said, we've hired that new dude, whatever the bro's name is, and once he's on, you're going to lie through your teeth, George, right now. So, to be honest, anyway, do you want to know, what else do you want to know?
You tell so much lies that I don't know what.
Okay, can I just say, Shubz, have the police contacted you about some extortion? Shubz, have the police contacted?
Okay. How about we get to this point, Sean? How about the fact that they've cancelled the show and I still haven't had any formal things to me? The only way that I know that the show's cancelled is they put it on Facebook, and I haven't got. There's no. Well, George, where's an email? Where's a text? Where's a call? I don't have one.
Shubz, did you ever have an employment contract?
Where's the email saying that the show's cancelled?
Shubz, calm down. Did you ever have an employment contract?
No, I didn't have an employment contract.
Then what the hell did you expect?
Well, what I did expect was
That's a good point that the bro makes. Yes, I didn't, and I didn't have an employment contract, so that is my bad. But also in this country, you don't have to have one for you to be an employee or employed. So that's another thing that's that I learned. But yes, Sean's right in that instance, 100%.
I look after whānau because that's what George sold me on to. But there are way more rights that I've realised now that I have even without a contract. George has also put in emails. Well, actually, I reckon he wrote it, but Raywin, his wife, was the one that sent it to us. And then she said, oh, yes, I remember seeing, us discussing you having ownership, but nothing was formally put together at a dinner arrangement that Raywin was never at. And I was like, hold on, what are you talking about?
We're dying in the weeds here. Shubz, have the police contacted you about an investigation into extortion?
No, not you, brother.
Okay, all right. You've also heard George say that he never sought candidacy for another party. You have published stuff online that he was, right?
He asked me. He asked me. I talked to David. Yeah.
Hang on, just George. Shubz, what do you know about George shopping himself around to other political parties?
Well, it's how he rolls. He used to be on National. He was around Māori Party. There's nothing new, really, if you think about it. He just wants to get in.
Okay. Do you guys think that maybe you need to sit down and sort this out, or just go your separate ways?
Oh, look, there's no.
Oh, no, he wants to send me to prison for extortion, it sounds like.
Yeah. George, you ever going to play the platform the money you owe it for those months of simulcast or not?
Well, no, you were broadcasting on our frequency as well, Sean.
No, the deal was that you would share advertising revenue, and you never did.
We never agreed.
Yeah, we did, George. Yeah, we did, mate.
Well, George, question. What was the Israel thing even real? Like,
See, there you go. So, like, if I've been through it, Sean, who's, like I said, very reputable in the media space and very well known, is also saying he was promised things too by George. And I can give you so many more people that have been dusted by George over the years. It's sad too. It's sad, but it's sad that it took me so long to realise. And once I started speaking out, it said day 104, I think it was, of not getting paid on radio. From that moment, people started reaching out. And also, obviously, that Sam Costello video and all of these things, I started looking into things more. And then I was like, holy Rick, you know what I mean? What is this? And also, I don't think there's any way we're going to get paid out of this. It's all about him making whatever he can for his and for him and his, like, and the thing is too, that's how he sells it, is like, it's not about all the money that George can make. It's about, how many I can take with me as volunteers, he means. Anyway, this is a good question because I asked him about, I'll let it play.
You said you were going to send me and the bro over to Israel as ambassadorial role because you can't go because you've been too many times. Was that ever real or was that fake?
Did George say that to you?
That was it.
Yeah, 100%.
No, hang on. There was a request that Māori go over to Israel, and I thought he would be a good candidate.
So that was real? What happened? Is it not happening, or what's the go?
Yeah.
Well,
Shubz,
as
what
I
are you
say,
going to do
you'd
with
be a
your
good
career
candidate.
now that you're not on Aotearoa radio anymore?
Well, I heard my mate Sean said he might.
No,
give me a
I
show,
can't have you, mate. It's just not on the business plan at the
I'm
moment.
just going to jump on. I'm still going to do it as a podcast.
I think, Sean,
George, just hang on. Just let him answer this question. Just let him answer this question, Shubz. You're going to go and do it
I'll just
online.
stay on doing it as a podcast, brother, for now online and see what happens.
Okay, thank you, Shubz. George, you wanted to say?
Or look, no one will actually work with somebody who tries to extort money out of somebody.
George, that's why I'm not talking to you anymore either, because I wouldn't either work with you again. Shubz, good luck to you, mate, for the future. Cheers. Oh, that was an interesting wee chat. I'm not sure that there was much enlightenment. There was plenty of heat, though.
So, yeah. That's what happened, mate. That's what happened. That's what happened with myself and old Georgie Pye on Sean Plunket's platform today. Shout out to Sean for George is the one that texted him to go on the show so George could run his narrative. Shout out to Sean for giving us a heads up and letting us join too. Obviously, Sean's been dusted by him too. So, yeah. Where things go from here, fam? I don't know. Wake up tomorrow and carry on. I guess I'll be waiting for the police to get in contact with me and arrest me or whatever the hell, charge me with whatever. I know he's obviously got a lot of money, George, so he'll probably use all his money to try and silence me because he believes in freedom of speech. Good Christian man too. Old George. So yeah, I don't know, being extorted and blackmailed. That's up to the police to decide whether or not that's the truth. I did talk to the guy that wrote the Herald article today. He said he's going to write a follow-up article when that comes out. I don't know. Yeah, bit of a shit ending to it, but I do feel a lot freer. Obviously now I've got to, after spending months trying to get our own sponsorships to go on to Radio Aotearoa and it never eventuating and the infrastructure not being there in place, now we've got to go and start again and do that again and try and build it on our own platform. But at least now we have the full control, myself, Karina and our little team. So yeah, it is what it is, fam. I learned quite a bit from there. I just want to say too, I don't know if you're still in here or Cal, but I seen your comment, bro. You're saying about that, like, I got to get my voice heard and that. Like, my voice was bigger than the station before I got on it, bro. Like, and that's not cocky, that's just right. And also, no, it wasn't, you said, like, you were told no payment and that. No, I wasn't told no payment. I was promised heaps of different things, including money, including paying my rent, including paying for our Wi-Fi, all of that stuff never eventuated, paying for our phone bill since we use it all to edit, to make the clips for the station, all these tools. None of that was promised. I've given or promised. We were promised a new location because the studio was in, the studio that we were in is at Te Wharewananga or Awanuiarangi in Papatoetoe, or just there by Manukau there, and it's a public Maori, politic. So people come in and out of that all the time, and our producer wasn't good with that. Karina didn't want to, so we were told that there would be a new studio within 3 weeks. That was on May the 8th, I believe, and well, now there is a new studio. I seen him got sent him putting up his new podcast studio thing that was meant to be built for us months ago. Never got done until now. And yeah, obviously it's sad, but I also know that Kalau, or you're obviously a pastor of the Destiny Church down in Christchurch. I did see a video of you talking about making money on medical boards and that during COVID, or on some kind of thing. So maybe you and George have made money together, so maybe you're defending them that way in the comments. I don't know, bro. But yeah, you don't know the full story, cuz obviously, or you're going to bat for your mate. And I can understand that too. But that's it. 3 months ago, Karina says, yeah, exactly. So pretty much that's the gist of what's happened. We haven't got paid what we owed, and we've been milked as volunteers. And if you are someone that's been milked by George Ngatai, Raywin Bana, and been used as a volunteer, and you feel like you've been mistreated, but reach out to me, Like they want to come for me for extortion and all of that, let them come. But I'm a man of the people all day. I stand up against pedos, corrupt elites, and I'll continue to. I feel like an idiot because I didn't realize how much of a corrupt elite that George was, but now I do, and now you do too. And Yeah. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in, man. Big love and blessings. We keep going. Actually got a mate of mine here. My man Robert Lees. Kia ora, Robert.
Kia ora there, Shubz. How you doing?
Oh, first of all, let's get. How are you doing? Got your thoughts on what just occurred? I don't know if how much you witnessed of it.
Oh, I watched that video with Sean Plunket earlier today, and quite a remarkable interview there, mate.
In what sense?
Oh, well, it's not everybody who works 100 days and doesn't get paid, mate. It's a bit of a tough gig, and so, oh well. Life is difficult and tricky and interesting twists and turns sometimes, huh?
This is true, my friend. This is very true.
Yeah. So, can I mean, feel free to comment on it.
Here you go, huh? Comment on whatever you want.
Yeah.
We're not on radio anymore, brother. We're just on a free podcast on that, you know. Yeah, people are tuned into. I'll just answer this. Shubz, what's your thoughts on Samantha Costello? I think she's very heavy, like hates Israel and that. And I don't really know, brother. But her video did actually spark something in me to go and look at some things. I think she's probably politically irrelevant, so that's why it wouldn't have cut through to like media and that. Like it had to be someone like myself in the alternative media space to be able to challenge the, because you know people would just like throw the tinfoil hat thing on her, and then no one would listen. But obviously me exposing it's a bit different and what I did expose. So yeah, what do I think about her? I think she's very obsessed with destiny, like very obsessed with Israel. Make some good points, but I mean we can all make good points. Even I do sometimes.
Yes, you do.
She's using you for clout because she is irrelevant, says Karina. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah. Anyway, here with my man, Councillor Robert Lees, to spill the tea. What did you want to comment on, brother? What were you saying? You don't want to comment on, or you want to? What?
Oh well, you know, I don't know. I guess it's probably debatable in the employment court whether or not you're an employee and whether you're being paid. You may have a case there, I don't know.
Oh, no, well, a lot of people say that I would have a case, and from my research, definitely. But and you know, staffing issue.
Yeah, but you live in a country where there's we have a social welfare system, and you do have the option of signing up and at least getting the dole paid for you. That's better than a kick in the pants. It's
no,
one of the luxuries of living in New Zealand.
Yeah, I'd rather figure other ways, brother, to be honest. And yeah, I'll continue that journey.
I admire your approach, but you know, when it comes to putting food on the table for the family, it's sometimes with accepting that we do live in a country where we've had this kind of support, and you'd be able to carry on doing what you're doing, and they'd probably be encouraging you to do it, and hopefully you end up getting paid enough online to.
I love how casual the show is. Lol, just put the camera on and talk, no script. Well, that's how we roll, Baba. It's like, yeah. Now that we're not on the airwaves, we're not bound by the BSA. We can just run the ball. What's been happening in your world, Robert Lee? What's going down, my man? Tell us.
Oh well, a bit of excitement at council yesterday.
Okay,
and,
what's that?
Actually, there was a bit of excitement at council last week as well. But I asked my colleagues yesterday if they would support me with getting a report prepared by our chief executive that would explain how $70 million in two separate projects managed to sneak its way into our long-term plan way back in 2021 and 2024. And because we're preparing the next long-term plan at the moment, 2027. And, you know, it's really our job as elected members to make these decisions, and say, how did that money sort of get in there without us making a decision was really the nature of my question. But surprisingly, none of my colleagues, except for one, was very curious at all to find out what happened there. So I got voted down on that one, I'm afraid.
Interesting, brother. Voted down. Was it a close vote?
Sorry, say again?
Was it a close vote?
No, just me and one other councillor, and but everybody else, the mayor, didn't want to find out how that money got snuck into the long-term plan. So I mean, we're trying to save ratepayers' money so that the rates doesn't go up too high. So I'm always pretty keen to try and stop some money being wasted here, there, and everywhere. And so I'm personally quite curious as to how it got in there. But I can tell you the stories of each of those items if you like.
Yeah, 100%, brother.
So back in 2021, I wasn't yet a councillor. I was president of Saving Springfield. We were a community group that were trying to throw a spanner in the works of the council, who wanted to spend, who wanted to destroy our local golf course and put some sports fields on it instead. And I submitted a petition to council with 5,000 signatures opposing that, and a lot of community support that we had for doing so. And so we turned up at the council meeting. I'd organised for, there was about 100 people in the public gallery watching, and the council made a decision. We got it all on the live stream, and they didn't make a decision to put this $60 million project into the long-term plan. In fact, it was voted down. In fact, they weren't even voting to put it in. That's how much we had created headwinds for them. So it's all there on video, and so elected members didn't vote to put it in there. But when you have a look at the document, $61 million over the next 10 years appeared in that long-term plan. Bonfire.
Let's go, bruh.
It's not much if you say it quickly, eh?
So what's the plan? What's the plan moving forward, brother?
Oh, that's a good question. I've just published a video about it this afternoon on my Facebook page, but really I've just been through the process of taking it to my colleagues and asking them for their support. So I'm not really sure what the next step might be, if there is one, or be interesting to see what develops out of all of this publicity. But there was a second item in 2023. We're at a workshop, and this is all recorded on the live stream again. And the council staff member is saying, oh, you know, we've got to spend money on this and this and this and this and this. And we get to an item that says upgrading parks and reserves, $11 million. And he sort of just casually says, most of that would be going to the Waikawa Bay Reserve, but that's open for a haggle. You know, we can talk about that. And that was it.
Never put you on that Manurewa Local Board, brother. They put old General Lee, Captain Lee on there.
I used to live in Manurewa.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, when I left Rotorua when I was 17, moved to Auckland, stayed with some friends up there. And
Big Rob, I never knew you was a rewa hard there, Big Rob.
Yeah, I think let me see. Was it they lived on Bridge Street for a while, and I was on a different street. I'll have to look it up on the map, I think. Yeah.
On a different street, eh? Shout out to the different street there, my man Rob.
Sorry, what was that?
Shout out to the different street.
Yeah, I can look it up on Google Maps if you like.
No, I said shout out to the different street. I was shouting out to your old street, my bro. Tasman
Shout
left
to
out
Good
29 mil from their financial report accidentally. Who Tasman what? Oh, true. Did you know that, Rob?
No, what was that? Sorry.
Tasman left out 29 mil from their financial report accidentally.
Ooh. How do you do that? It's a bit gnarly, isn't it?
Gnarly. Bro, going forward for you, bro, like, how long do you see yourself being the council warrior, swinging the sword in the council for the people?
Oh, I think there's a lot of unfinished business. I'm just happy to do my thing and ask the tough questions and try and keep it on the straight and narrow. That's actually the beauty of democracy. The people can send in somebody like myself to keep an eye on things for them, and that's really the job. So if we didn't have a democracy, then none of this stuff would ever come to the surface, would it?
What's been the most difficult part of your job, brother?
Oh, I think the last campaign was a bit rough and tumble. I was accused of being the worst racist that somebody had ever met.
Why they accuse you of being a racist?
Yeah. That
Why?
wasn't very
Why? Why did they accuse you of that? What did they say was racist?
Oh, let me see. Got to cast my mind back. I did a Facebook post about a big polhiri that happened at our chamber, and we were hosting an event where central government were coming along to brief us about something or other, and all of the councillors around the Bay of Plenty had come along to our council because we're kind of central. And so I got some mates who are councillors and other councils, and it's always good to catch up with them. They weren't allowed in until they'd had the polhiri, so that was kind of disappointing. We would have liked to have caught up first. And then we go into the chamber, and they put me on the front row of one side, and there's sort of all these Māori fellas sort of welcoming my colleagues from across the Bay of Plenty into our chamber. They're I don't even know who they are, and I'm thinking, like, why are these dudes welcoming my colleagues into our chamber? And I don't even know who these guys are. I don't even know what they're saying because they're obviously speaking in Reo. So yeah, I didn't enjoy that a whole lot. We had a lot of wasted time there that we could have actually spent productively.
Not the old Maoris doing the old polhiri. Oh, brother.
Which Maoris though? I mean, I don't even know who they are. And they're in our chamber welcoming. How do they do the welcome?
In your chamber that you got elected to be in.
Yeah. We've got speaking rights in that chamber. They haven't. What?
Yeah, I get it. It's sort of like that. Even in Australia, they got the old welcome to country, and then there's like Australians that are like been there for generations, and you're like, oh, what do you mean? You already welcome me? I've already been on Borneo. Welcome me. Yeah, that's all that DEI stuff, brother. You know, DEI cuss. Look at this. Whenever you feel you are losing an argument or position, use the racist card. Rawiri Waititi.
Yeah, I've actually been hit with that accusation several times by one particular upset person on Facebook, and so they've called me that in the last 24 hours. So you know, you've won the argument when they have to resort to that,
Tory White says Raywin likes to say go on the benefit and we'll pay you in gas and food vouchers. Oh, true, Tory. Did you get paid like that too? Or the amount of people that I've heard go give me that one, that's their thing, bro. It's all about getting it off the government and while you do work for them. You're not the only person that I've heard that from that. I'd say probably 30 plus have come to me with some. Oh, actually, probably half of them with receipts of that too, of that exact statement. Crazy, bro.
you know, we pay our taxes, and whether we like it or not, the way the government's set up, we've got that security blanket that's there and available for us all. I mean,
Oh no,
why not
it's
follow
the
me
security.
through?
The security blanket's fine, but what we're talking about here is people working for their company,
Ah,
because George and Raywin own a lot of things. They own 6 Kiwi banks and post offices. They
oh,
own nearly probably 10 or more. I don't know the exact number. Medical centres, whānau ora community clinics. They
ooh,
own Mr. Whippy's. They own a supermarket called Circle K in Point Chev, which was as a Canadian supermarket that they brought in. They were the sponsor. They brought it in here. They own a Speedy Signs, an advertising company in Kingsland. They own a Speedy Signs over in Brisbane as well. They own heaps of stuff, brother. So that's the point, brother. The point is that they're milking people as volunteers and getting them to, like, getting these government contracts to gain access to all this funding while
right.
getting people to work for them for free while the benefit pays them. That's the point, brother.
Oh,
Now you get it, eh, Robbie? Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of running out of sympathy for them all of a sudden.
That's my point, bro. Like, they own heaps of stuff. You know?
But it still doesn't help you, though. I mean,
no, but that's my point. So
yeah.
I'm just going off of that comment, and that's I've been reached out to by a lot of people. Some are even whānau, and I was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" They're like, "I don't think you would have listened anyway." I was like, "Well, I might have if you actually gave me had a call it all." They're like, "Oh, you have to go through it too to figure it out."
Mm.
And this was their favorite line: "God loves you, Shubz." Oh, this is God's plan. Oh, not the God's plan, cuz. They are straight scammers, brother. Straight up. Straight up, brother. Well, if you think about it, right? Even during COVID, cuz, they made millions, and George professes this happily. Millions and millions during COVID doing testing and jabbing the people.
Right. So he's got short arms and deep pockets then.
Short arms and very deep pockets. Even this morning, having breakfast at his coffee club that he owns. You know, and people are like, "Oh, he can afford to have breakfast, but he couldn't pay you." I was like, "No, he owns that coffee club." They're like, "Oh." And the coffee club's right there in, what is it, Green Lane. Nice. You know, so, yeah. That's how they roll, brother.
But he was pretty keen to get in Parliament.
Yeah, but this is the thing. But why would you be keen not only to getting into Parliament, jump in whatever party you can? Because Opportunity Party, New Zealand First, and ACT, they're not the same. New Zealand First, ACT, they're more closer to each other than Opportunity Party is. And he's also been on the Māori Party as well before, in and around there, and National before. So
yeah.
You just want to get in anywhere you can because it's all this government contract. Also, his wife is on the local board that Marshall called out. We got the information from her because she's also on the local board. So, yeah. What is your reason for jumping on? Why is your reason for going for government? Is it government contract? No, it is not government contract. It is for the people. I mean, we can only speculate, but you know, just saying. Yeah. But I'm the one that got duped, and I got to laugh at that. Take it on the chimney, but I got duped. Yeah. Opportunity Party are commies, apparently. No, they're centrists. Just ask them. Okay, well, give me how you think each party is going to do, Mr. Rob. We're getting closer.
Well,
do you think Opportunity is going to make it? Are they going to break the threshold? Are they going to get in for the first time or nah?
I don't know, mate. My crystal ball kind of blank. It's I'd like to think the coalition government get back in. When I was first elected, Jacinda was Prime Minister, and the first year was actually pretty grim. We keep on getting all of this dumb stuff coming from Wellington, like they wanted to slow the speed limits down all across town. I mean, all across town to 30k. And it's like going to be, within 2 kilometre radius of every school, which basically means all across town. And even during school holidays, even on the weekends. And even though it's supposedly just to protect the children or something, but so we actually publicly consulted the community about doing this because Wellington were telling us to do it. And I said, look, there's going to be an election soon. My local MP, Todd McClay, he says Wellington, National are going to repeal that. And I thought the elections were looking pretty good for National. And so our council went out and spent lots of money consulting. And
do they always get in, brother? Has National held that seat for ages?
In Rotorua?
Yeah.
Rotorua has been a safe National seat since 1960, with only one exception.
When was that?
That was Steve Chadwick in 1999, came in on the coattails of Helen Clark.
Far out.
So she went on to become mayor of Rotorua in 2013, and she's sort of jumped in with 2 feet into all this DEI stuff, and jumped in with all of these iwi partnerships and so forth. Turns out iwi partnerships are expensive, Shubz.
How much? What are we talking?
Well, the main partnership between our council and Te Tata Te Arawa, that's cost our council, our ratepayers, north of $3 million over the last 10 years, 11 years, to just sort of be there and advise us. And then they get these guys sitting on committees that they, council committees that they haven't been elected on. And so they're having an influence on spending ratepayers' money, but they're not accountable to the public for spending their money. So it's a sort of a diminishing of democracy, but costs money.
Money, money, money in a rich man's world.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that though. Like that. That's why they're rich. Yeah, that might be why they're rich. But also, there's I'm just going to like some of the comments here. But like I know some rich people that are just really good-hearted, man, like that are like and very wealthy, even wealthier than George. But I met them over my life, and just like really good. It's each to their individual, their own. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are very philanthropic and actually give a lot, and even the bro came on here, Joe Hortai, talking about because he used to work for a billionaire. He worked in private security in that, and he used to work for this billionaire that had a lot of. He actually was put in there because he's former SAS. He was put in to like run the team because of threats on his life because he runs a lot of stuff against child trafficking in there. And obviously the people in that child trafficking world want to kill this billionaire dude and all snatch his kids. So there are people that have hearts, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then he has his perspective is like, because I said, does every billionaire, he doesn't work for him anymore or anything, but does every billionaire like Illuminati or whatever? He's like, no, I don't believe so. I think it's just humans, Humans, there's bad humans and there's good humans, there's right humans, and that's what it is. And I think it's the same with politics, bro, from what my understanding is I get to speak to different ones. And even in local body like yourself, it's just some good humans, some humans that aren't in it for the people, some humans that are in it for their own benefits. Yeah.
Yeah, I just ran for council because I got sick of the council making dumb decisions, and in particular getting rid of our local golf course. So that was the crowbar that got me off the couch. But when I saw that there was so much community support on our side, it's like, okay, maybe we can do something here. So,
look at this one. This is Crackerfer. Makairi Walters. Is this you, George? Hey, Shubz, what's up with this tell all, show all, tell is it? You show and tell. Is it you ain't got the vocab boo? Where's your receipts for being a broadcaster, bro? Like I said, you were given the opportunity and you took it. Joe Rogan did the grind voluntary for 2 years and you want money for your 5-minute grind? 5-month grind. Thank you very much. 5 months. Thank you. Not 5 minutes. And also, he was promising me these things. So, yes. Bro, show your... and also, I've done I've been on the internet doing things for years. Like, this is like 7 years deep. I've built tons of platforms. What are you talking about? Like, you obviously don't know my resume, so get out of here. Get out of here with your chat. I had a Telegram over 500,000 people. I was with the biggest live streamer on TikTok a couple of years, about 3 years ago. I had a podcast at over 400 episodes before I even got into this game. Whether I have the vocab or not, I got the personality, and you're here typing in my chat, motherfucker.
Well, one day when I grow up, I'd like to be half as good at social media as you are.
Well, I put in the grind, bro. Like, you know, I've been putting in like Telegram was 6 years ago. The Instagram lives we used to have 10K people in them back in the days. Those were crazy. I'm up to my 7th Instagram now. And even that one's like at 20K. So like, I've been grinding, bro. Come in here with all those dribble. You gotta know the resume before you talk shit. Otherwise, shut your lips. And it's not like George didn't promise all of these things, you fool. And just like he did to Sean Plunket, was with the show, or tell her why not. Yeah, he didn't have any loyalty to me or care about me and my sister Karina. He just cared about his own pockets, just like everyone says. Get on the benefit and we'll give you some food and some gas because it's all tax deductible. Come on, Gus, wake the fuck up. Cool thing is, I'm not on radio. I can swear if I want to. And I love that I've got a limited vocab. It's good enough to get the great Robert Lee on anyway. Actually, it made you. And actually, my limited vocab bring you to Iwi Whakamahu, the Order Nation, didn't it, brother?
It did indeed. I was quite impressed with your little hickory.
Limited vocab. And my limited vocab.
I love the fact that you went from Parliament instead of to Parliament. It reminded me of what Ronald Reagan said when he first got elected President of the United States. He said, government's not the solution to your problems. Government is your problem.
Oh, this is your problem,
So you turned your back on Parliament and walked away. Like, you know, that sort of tickled me.
Well, yeah, it was sort of like, you know, it's like, let's see if we can connect and have talks about, you know, all the different things. Obviously, because I was open about the sexual abuse and all of that, people came and showed love along that journey. And you know, that's something that I definitely didn't prepare myself for, brother. Like how many people would be crying on the shoulder, feeling like, you know, thank you for expressing this stuff to us. Thank you for making us feel seen. Like you never realize when you're doing this, like, you know, talking about your journey, hey, blah 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 blah. That's gonna affect people to go and carve things. And I don't know if you remember those things that we gave our Auntie Kahida, those carved things that we got. That guy carved it out of this tree because he heard my words and he had been through it too. And it reminded him of different kids that he had come across in his life that had come from similar paths. You know, all of that kind of stuff is crazy. And to think that, you know, your little words that you put on the internet can inspire people like that, bro, it's just pretty cool. And yeah, shout out to you, Robbie, coming out with the old sandwiches. For people that don't know, so Rob actually came out to he's the only elected official in the country that came out in that capacity. We've seen some along the journey that, but they didn't come out and give us sandwiches like the bro did. But I called them death sandwiches. Like, oh, you might be setting us up here, big Robbie, but we were all good. Shout out to you, Rob.
Karina had some. I don't know if you did, but she didn't die.
Yeah, no, she didn't die. Yeah. No, I had a little. I had to have a little nibble, brother. A little nibble. Just to make. What about anything you want to leave the people with before you take off, Big Rob?
Yeah, there's one other little story from last week at council. The Lakeland Queen presented a petition at the Lakeland Queen, that big beautiful boat on Lake Rotorua with the paddle wheel at the back. They presented a petition to council back in 2023 because they were getting hammered. They had all sorts of stuff happening to them. It was really awful. And anyway, our council, not very helpfully, refused to accept the petition. So I complained to the Ombudsman, and the Ombudsman said, well, that's unreasonable of council to reject the petition, prevent them speaking to us at the chamber. And so I just persuaded my colleagues last night to apologise to Mr. Hammond, Mr. Terry Hammond. He had to go into liquidation. He was being told that he would have to build a new jetty for the Lakeland Queen gift it to the Te Arawa Lakes Trust, lease it back off the Te Arawa Lakes Trust, and pay a percentage of turnover to Te Arawa Lakes Trust. And all of that was wrong because it was an existing structure in 2006, and so they don't have to pay for the use of the lake bed. And so this poor guy ended up going into liquidation and pretty much losing everything. And so we've got an apology coming up at the next council meeting. He's going to come along and he's going to get his opportunity to talk to us and pour his heart out. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, well, at least it's a good thing, brother. I think it's a beautiful thing to end on there, Robbie.
Cheers, buddy.
Well, go well for your week, my brother. I'll see you again next week for Spill the Tea with Robert Lee. Even though we're not on Radio Aotearoa, we're just a podcast now. We keep on rolling, baby.
Sweet as. I'm glad you're still doing it, mate.
Yeah, hard. And I just want to say, a lot of the chat, we've got like Jeremy Matthews here says, Councillor Robert Lee seems like a real cool guy. What a guest to have on, Mart. Plenty of love, brother. Getting a lot of love in the chat. So
cool. That's nice. Appreciate that.
And I just settle down there, brothers and ladies. He's married. Much love, brother. Catch you soon, eh?
Cheers, bro. See ya.
Got a little catch up with my man Robert Lee. Always a good yarn with the bro. Good guy. And just glad that he comes and talks to this limited vocab guy. Joe Robert, Carlo Parks. Punch up the throat. Not the punch up the throat. Tea bags are expensive. Oh, are they actual? Are tea bags actually expensive these days, viral shorts? Roberto Vegas. Oh, Maori. Mega Maori. Cuzzy, up to my G. How you been? What's been happening, Funny? Council caps, no new taxes. Or if you were to bring in a new tax, let's just say you were to bring in a new tax, what would it be for? Go give us your new tax in the chat, fam. New tax, what would it be? Let us know your new tax that you would put in the chat. Thanks, Rob. Bye, Bob. Bob. Wait, what's the funniest nickname you've ever heard? Or even real name? Real name will go all good too. What's the funniest real name that you've ever heard, fam? Let us know, chat. Let's check this stuff too. What do we have here? Starship Hospital, eh? Or should we just have a little gander over at the news, funny? See what's going on in the news. Obviously, we've seen what happened there. Out the gate, eh? Out the gate, funny. Out the gate, chat. The only expensive tea bag is if you charge yo mama. Oof. Well, Plunket made a good point. You should have had a cut of revenue during your show that advertised. Yeah, exactly, Jeremy. That's a point there. Like, even if you take away everything else, like you take away the other promises, just the fact that he was advertising in the space that I was speaking in, and he's getting, the station's generating income from that. Why shouldn't we get a clip off of that? Just like that, whoever that fool was, probably George's, little minions coming in here for a little cry, or maybe got some hurt feelings. Like, oh, you've come in here for 5 minutes. Hey, hold on, we did 5 months worth of mahi every day. I'm talking about Joe Rogan grinded for 2 years without making anything on podcast. I've been on the internet, mate, grinding, doing podcasting and all of that stuff for all ages. Shut your mouth. Go look at Mind the Mic podcast. How many episodes I've done on it? So it's funny when they come in here and then they haven't done their own research and then they just start talking. Low vocabulary isn't important. It's the skill of getting your point across that is important. Yeah, I concur with that, bro, 100%. And I think it's that relatability too, like being able to cross over. Well, this is what I hear from a lot of it, because I can obviously transcend from a Don Brash conversation, who's an 85-year-old Pākehā white New Zealand man who's been a reserve banker, leader of the National Party, leader of the ACT Party, obviously head of Hobson's Press, blah, blah, blah. And then also talk to a brother from the gutter, because and somehow those conversations can still be entertaining to people and also informative. So yeah, that's obviously a value that I definitely bring. And I'm understanding that more now. Did you go to Pāroa school? Yeah, I did, cuz. Yeah, I did for a little. I did a couple of times. I lived all over the place, but yeah, we lived on Huna Road, or my koro still does. You know, Kingi Wikepa. Did you go there, Jaja? Wellington Water Park, no name. Fuckwit tax for hydro slide around the beehive. Oh, not the hydro slide around the beehive. That's out the gate, of course. We'll just slide around the beehive. The revenue from a tax, from a Fuckwit tax, would pay for treaty settlements 3 times over. Wait, where do you sit with treaty settlements, everybody? What do you think? Where do you say? Where do you say? Look at this. Jeremy says the revenue from Fuckwit tax, from Fuckwit tax would pay. I got to remember that I'm not on radio anymore, so I can sort of do my thing. Would pay for treaty settlements 3 times over. Choo-choo, cha-cha. You from Taifexa? How are odd work? No. Political perks should always be cut before public services. There's people that are making like hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars that are like CEOs on these government-funded entities, and then all their board members getting all this cash. Where's it all go, fam? Straight up. Do your groove thing, says New Media. I think real grievance should be settled. No name, real grievance should be settled. You make a fine and dandy point there, my mate. 100. Hey, I caught up with this dude too. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. But he just got in contact with me today. And I was like, oh, yeah, let's go, bro. Let's have a yarn. Shout out to the break. Oh. Actually, I don't know. I might have to go over here and download the episode. I thought I had it, fam, but maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't download. Now, hopefully this doesn't wreck my, what do you call it? Storage, finally. Storage. Well, you know what I like about this now? We can do like reactions and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Hey. Storage. Here it is, recording storage. Hopefully this doesn't lag it out, chat. You're a born-again politician. Who, me? Hell no. I ain't no politician, cool. You're going to have to download this way. And, yeah, we on, chat, we on. Mango Putty, Kazi. Oh, Mango Putty. Safe for not your Uncle George, though. Not the Mango Putty. Oh, Uncle George, yeah. Out the kitty, be. Out the kitty. All about fun now before now, son. I know. I don't know. It's the very. Turn to remember now. Who are you? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Shubz, and I'm here with my man, Victor. I thought it was Billot, but it's actually Billot, silent T. Well, yeah. Someone should get that quiet thing out of there then, I reckon. How are you, Victor?
Oh, very good, thank you. Good to
leader of the Alliance Party. What is this Alliance Party, brother?
Oh, well, I'll give you the short version.
No, you give me whatever version. You got time. We got time. Let's go.
Well, don't say that. I can.
Well, just don't give me the boring version, because short doesn't long doesn't always mean boring. You can do long and entertaining.
Well, the Alliance Party is a political party in New Zealand. Obviously, it's been around for a long time. It's been quite quiet in the last few years, but we're back now. Just to give you an idea where it came from, it actually started like I've been with the Alliance since it began, which is like 1992.
92?
So, wait, I haven't finished yet. It goes back. And before that, the Alliance was made up of different parties. And one of those parties was led by a guy called Jim Anderton, who some of the older listeners might remember.
Yeah, I've heard that name before, Jim Anderton.
Yeah. Well, he was a big figure back in the day. He's not with us anymore, but he left the Labour Party in the 1980s. He was a Labour Party MP, and he left the Labour Party because he thought they were going too right wing. They were missing they'd lost their way.
Oh, he's Deputy PM back in the days.
Yeah, well, he started a new party called the New Labour Party, which I joined in 1989. I was 17. I was at high school here in Dunedin, where I still am. I've been away since then, but they haven't been here the whole 36 years in between. But yeah, so it was a political party that was really to make it, do it in a soundbite. I guess it stands for the working class people. It stands for a fair society wherever it gets to go. We stand for full employment. We stand for proper housing. Maybe egalitarian society, and what that means is, everyone, to have a proper democracy, you've got to have everyone. You can't have people who are completely out of it, very poor, and you can't have people really rich because they have too much control and power. So I guess that's a little bit about what we are. We've been out of the mix for a while. We were in government about 20 years ago, Labor, and then we kind of, due to various reasons, we kind of disappeared, but we're back. And we're running in the election, this general election coming up in November. On the party leader, it's a small party, but we're registered. We've got about 700 members. We're going to have a party list, so you can vote for us. And I'm standing here down in Dunedin, but we have some candidates elsewhere in the country. We'll have a party list soon. But we at the moment, for some reason, we seem to be mainly the more south. We seem to be a bit more of a happening thing. We're still kind of getting up and running up your zone.
Oh, cool, brother. Hey, brother, I'm just doing an interview, brother.
Hey, brother.
Just doing an interview, brother. I'll give you a bell back later.
Okay, bro.
Okay, brother. That's usually why I don't answer after 14 rings, mate. But much love.
Well, that's the media.
Yeah,
the media calls. You got to answer.
I am the media too, brother.
Or maybe not.
We are the media as well. Alternative, but okay. Well, there you go. That's the Alliance Party, the shortest and entertaining version of it all.
Yeah. You don't want to hear the long one.
Okay. And so, obviously, you got other candidates. When's that list coming out? What
The list is coming out soon, but the reality is we only got kind of going and back up in about a year or so ago. We had to get registered again. We had a lot of work. We had to build up the membership, obviously get more than 500. And so, the reality is we're not kind of at the level of the big establishment machines like National or Labour, all that. We're not at that level. We're just we don't get any big donations from corporations or
what about like advertising in there? Do the Electoral Commission help you out a little bit, or like?
Well, that's a good story, that one, because what happened is we were going to apply to get some election. They give you funding, every party they give you a little bit of funding, or so it's actually quite a lot of money. But we found out that they cut that off in February, and we hadn't registered then, and you had to kind of like apply for it in advance.
You had to be applied before February to get it.
Yeah, and so the stupid thing was there are some parties who kind of applied in advance, but they couldn't claim it because they never got registered. So we got registered, and we said, hey, we got a legal opinion and said, hey, can you give us some money? It's only fair, we just because we've only just got back up and running again. They said, no, that's real. So we missed out on a lot of funding, and that was just. It wasn't. We didn't do anything wrong. It was just the bad timing. We just came along a bit.
Oh, so you just didn't know. Okay, so some got the got funding, but then didn't get registered or registered with the commission in time to get the funding, but didn't register their party. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. So it's a real screw up. But we're not panicking about that. We're in this for the long haul. I mean, as you know, there's quite a few politicians at the moment, political figures, who they're desperate to get in with anyone they can join, and we're a different bunch.
How would I know that?
I don't know. I mean, we stick with the program. I've been with it, I've never got paid for any. I mean, I have a job. I work for the Maritime Union of New Zealand.
Okay, tell us about that.
It's the workers' union for the port workers, down ports of Auckland and that.
What do you do on there?
Well, I'm kind of the odd job man, but I do a lot of the publicity for them, the communications. I've worked for them for a long time, 25 years. Yeah. Great union, very strong union, and good for the workers. And they're, interestingly enough, they're also affiliated to the Alliance Party, my party. So we have a kind of, they support us, you know, what we're trying to do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So got a bit of support there.
And you're a writer too, eh?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's another thing. It's like I've been doing that for a long time, but once again, I've got my day job, which of course is my union job. I've got my other unpaid job, which is my Alliance job, and then I am a writer too. I write kind of like political satires, we call them. So they're taking the pee out of a few politicians and others, which I've been doing for a few years. I've had to stop.
Have you got an example?
Hey?
Have you got an example?
Oh, gee, I can't remember any of them. Hey, I'm 54 now. I could remember stuff and read it off the top of my head when I was 24. By the time you get to my age, you can barely remember. You can't even remember the shopping list. But you can look them up. They're on our newsroom website. You put my name in, Billot. It'll come up with all my stuff. And I write other stuff. I've got a book of poetry published too. It's just something I do. You know, I'm into art and creative stuff as well.
Oh, that's cool, brother.
It's important.
Oh,
yeah.
So what's your party all about anyway? What's this Alliance Party all about?
Well, I think where we fit in at the moment is that everyone is very focused on, how to put it? We are what you call, the official title, which I'll break down, is Democratic Socialist. So what is socialist? Well, that means that it is basically you're coming in at the angle that what benefits society, what benefits all people is what's important. And that's your number one focus. So I guess what that means on a day-to-day basis is that everyone, as you know, everyone's finding it hard to pay the bills. Well, most of us are. Most of us are finding it hard. I've got a good job. I'm finding it hard to pay the bills. So I don't know what people who have low incomes on benefits are doing. They're doing it really hard. So we've got to improve. We've got to lift up the bottom. But the focus in New Zealand for the last 30 or 40 years is the idea was that we just let rich people do whatever they want and they'll make lots of money and they'll give some of the money to the poor people. That was the plan. Didn't work. Because we've got a lot of very rich people now. I'm not having a go at them. I'm just saying we've got the concentration of wealth, like a few people owning more and more houses, a few people owning more and more wealth, and a lot of people, they're working full-time jobs and they have to get working for families. They can't make ends meet. So something's gone wrong. So that's, I guess, what we're trying to do something about. How do we do something about that? Well, I think we've got to look at the basics. We've got to look at stuff like housing. We've got to rebuild state houses, which were a big thing in New Zealand once, and providing secure, safe, warm, healthy accommodation for everyone. And my dad came out here from the UK, from the Channel Islands in the 1960s. He's still alive. He's 86, and he said there was no one living in the streets when he came to New Zealand in the 1960s. He said he couldn't believe it. He can't believe that we've got people living in the streets in Dunedin. This is just a small town compared to, up north. And what's happening? When did that happen? That wasn't happening when I was a young person. So something's gone, I'm just not saying it's the only problem, but that's something you see and you go, well, when did that happen? And when did that become okay? And when did it become okay to say, oh, how can we help people? And that's not a question anymore. What you hear from the government is how can we move people on? Well, the trouble is if you've got people struggling, you can't move them on. You're a society, you're a country. You're supposed to help people join together. Yeah. You don't move them on because there's nowhere to move people, And I think that's the kind of attitude we have is we're trying to work for the majority. We're trying to make a world and a society for the majority working people can afford to have a decent life, contribute to society, have a family if that's their thing, and get to the end of it, not spend their whole life paying off the mortgage for some landlord or making someone else rich, and get to old age and go, oh, they're working till they die because they can't afford to retire, which is what's happening. So you asked and I gave you an answer. You see, I could talk about it all day, bro.
Yeah, hard. Anything you want to leave the people with before you get out of here, bro?
Look, no, just really thank you that, we're having a bit of a hard time, as you know how the media works. We're getting a bit of pickup from, podcasters and people like alternative media, like yourself. So we really appreciate that, because it's really hard to break through the establishment, the mainstream corporate media. They're not really interested, because their message is not, they don't really want to hear it. So it's basically we're getting the message out through social media and alternative.
Go hard, bro. Keep going, man. Don't stop. No, sweet brother. So where do people find you? Like, if they want to,
the website. Have a look at our website. That's one thing we have got together. It's just one word: Alliance Party. ALLIANCE Party.NZ. So, and if you just put up and you just go to Google and just say Alliance Party, official name is Alliance Party Aotearoa New Zealand, and it will come up. So yeah, and on Facebook and Insta and all that stuff.
Sweet brother, well, appreciate you, and I'm sure we'll come on again as it gets closer. Even if any of your other candidates wanna come on, bro, you got my digits now, brother. Just tee up with me and
don't worry,
we'll work it out. You got my producer's email too. Just email my producer and she'll sort it out if you got anybody that wants to come on, or if anything happens that you think you want to talk about anytime.
Yeah, good luck.
Beautiful, brother. All the best on the journey, man.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go, Chad. Let's go. Well, that was the bro. What was our man's name? Victor Billot. Not the below. Silent T. Quiet ass T, eh? What's your abortion policy, Victor? Are you an abolitionist? Or will you continue to regulate baby murder? Oh, there's a question. Well, guys, without further ado, we actually have our next guest coming up already. And they're not going to be on pre-record. She's actually in the virtual building. She's been on before. That's Helen Horton from, of course, the Conservative Party of New Zealand. Kia ora, Helen.
Hello, Matau. How are you doing?
You're doing good. Yourself?
Doing good. Yeah, I'm not too bad. I've just finished a run, so a bit flustered, but that's okay. We're all good.
Oh, yeah, up the run. How long did you put in?
Oh, no, it's like a jog. It's a jog run. It's a jog walk for about 15 minutes. It's pretty impressive, eh? 15 minutes is all I can cope with.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it's better than no minutes.
That's what I reckon. You just gotta
get the heart rate up a little bit. Yeah, 100%. Bit of a name change on the Facebook. What's going on there?
Yeah, so I'm hoping people will head over to our actual new page, which is Conservative Party. The problem is I'm not a techie person, and even my techie people can't seem to get Meta to change our name.
Even your techie people aren't techie. No.
Yeah. And so it was up to me to try and sort it, and Meta just didn't want to play the game, so they won't change our name, and I've had to, restart another party page.
Oh, okay. Same party, new page.
Same party, new page. Reformed Party though. Conservative.
Okay. Explain it. Explain the reform. What's the reformation?
Okay, so we've been really strong on social conservative values over the last decade with the different leadership that it's had. But we to be honest, we did have some gaps around the financial side of it, and so now we've really boosted our finance around taxes, and so now I think we provide the whole range of conservative. Yeah, we are the Conservative Party. There's only one party called Conservative, even though some claim to be conservative. They may have parts of it, but then there's a little bit of socialism. So just listening to your last guest with the socialism.
Oh, yeah. We'll fire some shots at the socialism. Go, give them some love.
Yeah, give them some love. Hey, the rich people, poor baddies, eh? Baddies? Are they baddies? Rich people?
When all rich people are baddies. I mean, I know one, but I don't think all of them are.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, actually, you're right. There are some.
There are some. But there's people, right? There's some good people and some bad people.
Yeah, a lot of wealthy people. They work and they're determined and they're driven, and that's why they're wealthy, right? I mean, if some of us aren't driven, and some of us don't want to work 80 hours a week to get wealthy. And look, let's face it, the wealthy provide jobs, and homes for people to rent, etc., etc. But yeah, look, there's some issues across the board.
Helen, the party has released its Protecting Our Children policy, covering everything from tougher consequences for child sex offenders and online exploitation to what children are taught in schools, parental rights, and medical treatment for young people experiencing gender distress. There's plenty there to unpack. Helen, your policy says that safety and long-term interests of the child must come first. Where do you believe New Zealand's current system is failing children most badly?
Well, like you said, there's a lot to unpack there. So let's focus on maybe two things. The gender, you mentioned the gender ideology. So I don't know if you know much about the past issues where I've been. So I was a school teacher almost 20 years. And about 7 years ago, I put the petition to Parliament because all of a sudden they're expecting teachers to teach around diversity and gender diversity. And look, there's only, I don't know how you can get diverse with gender. There's two sexes, it's male and female. We can all be different within that, of course. We can be, I'm a bit of a masculine female and you get feminine males. That's all good. We should, celebrate that, be who you are, but don't go and teach children that they should be, they're born in the wrong body, etc. So I petitioned government, and that's how I got involved in politics.
From being a teacher?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, no, this is right. Absolutely. So I left teaching to get involved in politics to challenge this and sort it out, and got dragged into this political party. Before that, I was actually centre. I'm a pretty balanced person, I think, and I see sides to most things. But do you remember the saying? I don't know. Actually, you're not that old as me, but there was a saying that used to say, it takes a community to raise a child. Well,
it takes a village.
Well, I say no, Shubz.
Okay,
I don't want the community raising my kids. You take your kids out in the village now, and whoa, there's some pretty whack jobs out there. You most certainly don't want any Tom, Dick, or Harry, having a big say in how you raise your children.
Yeah, and now Tom and Harry might not have a dick.
Well, that's true. And no offense to any Tom, Dick, or Harrys out there, by the way. It's just, I could have thrown in any name like Martel. I won't do that either. Yeah. Look, the first thing we've got to note is that the parent is the guardian of their children, and it's not the state, right? Not the state. I didn't plan to have my kids and then have the state go and tell me how I should raise them or what to do with them, how to teach them. Obviously there's some extremes there where we need to step in. I don't know if you saw the recent article with the meth, the child that was found, the 2-year-old with all the meth. And, I just read it before and I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to calm down because it gets you triggered. It really does.
Especially the babies. Hey, we'll carry on with what we were talking about, the policy and that, but we do have a question here from user AHA1689. What's your abortion policy, Helen? Will you abolish or regulate baby murder?
Oh, no one should be murdering babies, So, yeah, we're about protecting all life from birth to death, and we should be protecting our babies, our vulnerable. We should be protecting, like I said, our children. You were talking about children's policy. So, yeah, right through. Babies, right through. We've got big issues in society, and it's, the last Labor government, the most extreme abortion legislation. It's really nasty. So you'd want to sort that out. I'm pretty sure that most people, if they actually saw what that situation involves, would actually agree that that's barbaric. No one aborts cows, let alone babies, right?
Yeah, true that. Well, here, Helen, Jamie Daly 2865 says, Helen, how does Conservatives become, or what is it, as a Conservative party? How do we say it now?
Conservatives.
How does Conservatives become politically relevant again like they were under Colin Craig, where they just missed out on the 5% threshold? Why has the electorate never returned since Colin Craig?
Well, you always have issues with parties. All parties have got their own little bit of baggage that sort of hangs around. But like I said, this is a reformed Conservatives. It's far removed from previous leaders. There's been other leaders since the Colin guy, just like Active had certain leaders and all the parties, right? How do you move past that? Well, we've been discussing that around, you know, the main parties, how it's always left or right, and the struggle of smaller parties to actually get that vote up there. People are worried about taking a risk. Well, you know, the only wasted vote I see is if you're voting for somebody that doesn't have your values. And yeah, if I wasn't involved in politics, I'd really struggle to be choosing any of what's currently out there. So I just ask people to take a risk. You know, it's up to the people. If they want us, great. If not, you know, you're going to get the government that you actually you vote for. Yeah.
The same guy that asked the question about the abortions said, "So you're an abolitionist? You're an abolitionist? Then yes or no?"
Oh, that's an interesting question. Now, Rhea. I mean, we can't go back to, you know, Middle Ages and have people having abortions in the backyard. So, Rhea. Yeah, we've got to look after our women as well. You know, the way the health system is, it's funneling women into one kind of area where they're not given all the options or the information about what it does to your body for years later. You know, I can't understand why.
Have you ever had one, Helen?
What?
Have you ever had an abortion?
No. No, but look, I'm not judging anybody because I don't know what I would have done years ago when I was a bit dysfunctional and didn't have any supports. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you can sort of understand how people end up that way. Like that. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. And I know people who have had abortions as well. So there's no judgment here. But I think we need to be supporting women a lot more around these things. And there's lots of homes, you know, lots of parents or adults who can't have children who are out there ready to adopt children. And look, I know it's a bit of an aside, but there's some people I don't think should have children.
Oh, I'm with you too.
Yes.
100%. Yeah. I'm with you. Hey, sometimes those are the ones that have heaps.
Yeah, I was fostering for a while, and there were some parents that mothers in particular who had 5 children already taken off them and are pregnant, ready to grab the next one, and it's like, what's going on here? You probably, I mean, you know, I'll be opposed to this, but sterilisation, there should be a conversation, I reckon. Anyway, moving on.
Sterilisation. Helen, are you to play, baby? Let's go.
Let's have a conversation around bring it.
Yeah, Helen, going back to the policies and that you were unpacking earlier, around delving into how you got into the space or politics itself. What have you learnt from 7 years ago to now?
That politicians don't do what they say they're going to do.
Ooh.
It's nasty, right? When you've been in politics 20, 30, 40 years and you just know how to talk the talk it'd be really good if they walk the walk. So, for example, you know, last election, we actually congratulated a certain party that said they were going to remove the gender ideology, but it's a bit bigger than that, and we need to actually get it at the root because there are so there's the bureaucrats and the activist teachers as well who are still in there. I have parents actually asking me if I can come along to a parent-teacher meeting where they're still pushing gender ideology. There's a group called, we know about Inside Out, but there's another one called Navigating the Journey, and they have their gender ideology section, and they're still teaching it. So it hasn't been removed. It doesn't matter how you change the label, it's still there.
Hey, speaking of labels, Jeremy Matthews says, in a situation where rape is the cause, regardless of the situation, would this be a threshold for abortion under your policies?
Okay, so I'd like to actually move on because we've talked about abortion. I said Rhea. And rape is one that's thrown up all the time. I've actually got a friend who was a baby. She was born through rape, and so yeah, she's really grateful to have life. And just to say that in 1966, when I was in my mother's womb, and they didn't want me, I would have been aborted if abortion was legal then. So I think, you know, you just got to
Hey, sweet as we'll leave it there. Any other questions? Chat, put them in there, but just for now, leave the abortion ones out of the. Helen,
Yeah,
we
why?
talked about this before around the
All these
whole.
guys are obsessed about abortion. Guys, gee, why don't you use some protection if you're worried about that? Ooh, yeah.
Calling out the phrase, eh?
There's nothing worse than, but also on the other side of it, there's nothing worse than actually blokes talking about what women should do with their body. I think so. I'm a good person to be telling them what they should be doing with their body. Anyway,
I think Jeremy was grateful for that. Thank you for the clarification.
cool.
Cheers, Shubz, you have to clear things up. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So with you, you're talking about how you feel like politicians just don't do what they say they're going to do, and do you feel like the longer that they're in there, the more likely that is?
Yeah. Maybe so. How long should a politician?
Yeah, well, that's another question. Eh? Should there be a limit on how long a politician can be in office?
I think maybe that's a good one, because I used to think back in the day there was maybe 3 terms and then you're out. I don't know. I mean, if you're doing okay, so consider us normal people who are on the outside and we have to work, and we have like these measurements of how we're doing. Don't stick in whatever. Yeah. There's these measurements of our performance. Well, where's the measurements of the performance of MPs? I think that should be.
Oh, yes, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and if they're not performing, then don't wait the 3 years to vote them out. There should be some kind of workplace performance. What do you think?
What do you think about them getting paid after they leave office?
That's nasty. No, stop that. Stop that.
Even the like I know of at least one. There might probably multiple judges that still get paid off the taxpayer dime well after they're still in office, and their wage continues to grow as the wage inflates. Like once they're retired, like it just keeps inflating with whoever's still doing their job. It's crazy.
No, I don't agree that any of that should happen. I mean,
why do they believe that should even happen anyway?
There's lots of perks though that they get, don't they? I mean, they have the limousines waiting outside, all for 8 hours for them, all on taxpayer money. There's so many things that we could address the taxpayer money. But
what do you think the most important ones are?
Well, we're about smaller government because it's way too big. The bureaucracy is mental. It's a monster of bureaucracy, right? And
when you say smaller government, you mean less MPs or what? What are we talking?
Less MPs, less ministries. Okay, let's go with the woman, because I'm a woman. I can speak to it. Why do we need a women's ministry? Why do you think?
Well, because we don't know what women are. No, why? You tell me.
Yeah, good one. There's no male ministry, is there? It's just women. So
I didn't know that, to be honest.
Well, there's not. So where's the fairness in that? That you're talking about
equality,
gender equality. And anyway, so women's ministry, we had a woman prime minister, we've got women MPs, I'm a woman leading a Conservative party, and it's not like we need a hand up anymore. So obviously that was, back in the day, there would have been some issues here.
Oh, so that's why I got created. You feel like it served its time now. See you later.
Absolutely. So you imagine how much money could be saved out of that and put into the health or education. And that's not the only one. So we have immigration, of course, but then there's also an extra ethnics community ministry. And do you know what they do on there? Okay, so there's lots of little ethnic groups, and it's like we're paying for ethnic people to learn how to swim. Is that necessary right now when we've got a cost of living crisis and people
are struggling? What do you mean? Hold on a minute. Ethnic meaning not born here, not from here.
Yeah, that's right. So migrants come here and they have these little, money goes into the pool, into different organisations.
Yeah, but so there's literally a fund to teach them how to swim.
Yeah.
No way, Helen.
True. And that's just the start of it. That's just the start of it. Like, okay.
What else do they get? What other perks do they get?
Oh, I'd have to look into it. But let's go back to our policies.
Of course.
Okay, we talked about child protection. We just talked a little bit on the school stuff, right? I mean, parents don't want their kids learning nonsense. And I don't even want to start on the sex education because it's filth, what's been going on there. But let's also talk about stronger protection from sexual offending. I mean, sexual offending against children is one of the most serious crimes in society. That leaves a lifetime, that impacts a person for a lifetime, and it can take decades to actually heal, as well as the economic cost to that. That child, those children, that's a sentence for them. So we need to make sure that we increase the penalties for serious sexual offending against children. Even the repeat sexual offenders, they need to face longer prison sentences. And I just saw recently that your producer, Karina, I think she put out a petition. Yep. And we absolutely 100% support that, because that's why I've got this chunk is in our policy around that. We want to review sentence reductions as well. You can't get 5 years off because you just admitted that you've been doing stuff to children.
Oh, okay. So you want to get rid of sentence? I like this. Now we're talking. Getting rid of these sentence reductions, because it's rubbish.
Okay. And also, improving the monitoring and the management of those high-risk sexual predators once they're released. Strengthening resources also for the investigating of the online child exploitation and identifying those offenders. But mostly, the most important thing as well, though, Martel, is that we look after those victims and their families, making sure they've got the counselling and trauma support, as well as the appropriate long-term assistance, because it is a long-term journey to actually deal with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You really? Who put their policy together?
Me.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot more in there as well, but I know we don't have all day.
No, you can keep going. You can dive in some more if you want. We've got time.
So cool. Okay, so fostering children, OT. Should we talk about oranga tamariki?
Yeah, talk oranga tamariki. Let's talk about it.
So there'll be some people getting triggered by this, but look. Okay, it's a complex situation, and we got to have some compassion for the people who work in there, because they're trying to do the best that they can. So I'm not attacking them, but there's definitely some systems that we need to be doing better for our children, but not just the children, also the caregivers. Making fostering easier for good people. People might say, oh, we don't want to be paying foster carers, otherwise they're doing it for the money. But the point is, you don't go to a job. Actually, you've just had that example. You don't go and volunteer, put all your time into anything and not expect to be paid for it. Being a foster carer, you've got compassion because you want to do it, but it's 24/7, and it's not just normal parenting either. And these can be specialized cases, and so that some of these respite people are specialized, so they need to be given the appropriate reimbursement for them. Professionalizing some form of the caregiving even. So we're all about that. But look, the biggest thing is we've got to ask, why are there so many children that need care? So it takes you back. We go back to families and society. What's going on with our families and society? First 1,000 days we know is the most important for a child's life. We could go on about fathers that need to be part of the solution. I've seen fathers are pushed out quite a bit, and that's wrong. And we can say, well, some fathers aren't that flash. Well, what are we doing to support them? What are we going to do to support dads and guys in particular to be a good dad, to be a good role model? And I know there's some organizations out there that do some good stuff in here, but I think that's something we could talk more about as a community. Back in the day, because I'm ancient, when I had my babies, you could stay in hospital for 5 days, I think it was, and it's great. You learn all those basics, like breastfeeding, making sure that your boobs are working or whatever, the milk's working, and how to bath the baby. They're really important things. But over the last 5 years, I have this charity where I'm supporting mums, and a lot of these young mums, they go and have their baby and they're kicked out the same day. They've got no idea what they're doing, and we wonder why they don't fall over later on, and they're stressed, and there's just so many issues. So we need to invest in family. We need to invest in our young mothers and our young guys. Invest in all of them, I say, and then we wouldn't have at the other end of it such a large need for foster carers, because we are looking after families. Family first is really important.
Yeah, putting families first. And you're right. When the family nucleus breaks down and fathers are pushed out of the home, that's where a lot of things do go wrong. 100. And yes, some fathers do deserve to be, but some
Yeah.
don't. And
Yeah.
some get alienated. Parental alienation is a thing. And obviously,
Yeah.
it can be prevalent with. It can happen with like fathers that hold the kids from the mother, but most of the time it's the other way around.
Yeah, I'm from a intergenerational cycle of I grew up without a dad, and then my sons had to grow up without their dad, unfortunately. There's alcohol involved, all that kind of stuff. And but do you want a child growing up with violence, neglect, and addiction to then go and repeat that cycle? So all these conversations need to be had. But I just, for me to put that policy together, I just see far too much destruction with our young people, the anxiety. I was on the streets at 14, so I lived it. I know what it's like. I know what abuse looks like. I know what childhood sexualization looks like. Okay, and so I'm going to speak into it, and I'm going to say stuff that some people won't like. But yeah, so there you go. We need people in Parliament who are going to be. I'm not allowed to say. They keep telling me I'm not allowed to say I've got testicles, but I'm saying it. People that have got some kahunas and who will stand up for our people, for our children, for our men, for our women, for all people. And it's not about putting them into little categories of your rainbow people here or your colonization here. We're all the same under the law. Yeah, we've all got culture and different things that we do, different religion or whatever, but it's we should stop this whole division in society, in my opinion. And I'm probably going round in circles. So did you have anything you want me to?
No. I just wanted you to finish your point. I thought you were making good points, and the people in the chat are rolling with what you're talking about too. Anything else that you want to leave the people with before you take off, Helen, or anything specific that you want to talk into? Doesn't matter how long, you can take as long as you need. If you need to put any messages across.
Oh, nice. So let's as a community, instead of attacking each other all the time, and politicians, don't you get sick of Chris 1 and Chris 2? It's like B1 and B2, the bananas and pajamas, attacking each other all the time. It's like, can they ever agree on something and actually work together? But I'm about rebuilding community rather than expecting the state to raise children. It's not up to the state to jump in and hand out money all the time, because we're in a lot of debt. So let's get people empowered to do better with their own lives. I mentioned I was a street kid, 14, and for decades a lot of dysfunction, and I was on benefit for a while as well, and pretty dysfunctional. Took me a long time to overcome a lot of things, but I became a school teacher. I have a law degree and leading a political party, so it can be done. We have to stop the victim mentality, expecting everybody else that owes you something because something bad was done to you. We've all had trauma in some form, some more than others, but you just need to get up every day and just go and work for it, right? No one owes you anything. Okay, this sounds like I'm a bit of a teacher. My son will be telling me now, stop sounding like a teacher. Once a teacher, always a teacher, Martel.
Well, what did you learn from, when you talk about being a teacher for the period that you were, what was your biggest takeaway from that?
Being a teacher?
Indeed.
Oh, I love kids. So it's funny. It's actually really funny. When I started teaching, I was kind of afraid of kids. I mean, I know that sounds really weird, but, like you've just heard, I had a bit of a traumatic background. So, so being around kids all of a sudden was like, ooh, what do you do with them? And, but I absolutely love them. So the biggest thing I take away from that is the privilege of actually sewing into their lives. Like, I was always given a class full heavy of boys. And I don't know if that was because I'm a boy mum, but, raised boys only, didn't know what to do with girls. The thing is, the boys that I had the most challenge with are the ones that gave me the hug at the end of the year, because they respected the boundaries. I was the firm but fair teacher. We went outside and played a lot of sport, made them run, made them do push-ups. I was a bit of a boot camp teacher. and running club teacher, all that, build go-karts, do some riding under the tree. But it's about, kind of like gauging your kids and just, working with them, have a good relationship with them. Problem is now there's so much packed into the curriculum and into the school day where there's this expectation that we've got to do more than just teach kids. You've got to parent them as well, which is wrong. But, you want to be able to, as a teacher, get outside and kick a ball or sit under the tree and get them writing under the tree, which is what I used to do because I'm a bit of a nature person as well. Kids, boys in particular, hate sitting in the classroom all day. I hated it. I'd kick my shoes off and I'd be walking around with bare feet all the time. So, I can understand the kids, and we have to just, stop piling stuff onto them. We're piling things on. Climate catastrophizing. No wonder they're anxious. Yeah. Change your sex. No. It's just the basics, reading, writing, science, bit of history, but all history. Let's so all good.
No, I appreciate it, Helen.
Yeah,
Well,
and as far as the party goes, lower taxes. We're about lower taxes.
Yep.
Lower taxes, so that lower taxes for individuals and corporations, so that the businesses will come back to New Zealand, and that means they invest in New Zealand. We've got more opportunity, more jobs, and that's more money for Treasury. Instead of more taxes. So that's us.
Oh, big love, Helen. Thank you so much. I'll catch you soon. And don't forget you're always welcome on for a yarn whenever. And also any of the candidates that you have, don't forget to send them our way if they want to come for a chat too.
Yeah, you're awesome. Thanks for the time.
Any events coming up at all, actually?
Any more? What now?
Any events coming up for the party?
Yeah, you just reminded me. Can you give us a shout out for Kaitaia? So I'm up there on Sunday in Kaitaia. So if you're any of your audience are up there, we've got our Northland candidate Doug Lyle. He's an ex-fireman. He was a fireman for 30 years, and then he spent 10 years training all our new firemen. So he's a pretty top guy, real Kiwi bloke. He's up there, and I'm joining him up in Kaitaia. I don't even know where it is.
Where's it going to be? Where
I don't know. Can you tell people? Go onto conservatives.org, our website, and it's got the address. Hopefully somebody's listening.
We'll go on there right now and find it. Oh my goodness. Con, how do you spell it?
Conservatives. So con, C-O-N, serve. Oh, there's no light here.
.org, eh? .org? All right, conservatives.org.
See if you can find it. Otherwise,
I don't know if that's the right one. Hold on.
No, it's probably the old one. Hold on.
Okay.
Come on, somebody in the audience. Don't you know where we're going to be?
Conservatives. I've got it in here, but it's not coming up.
Hold on. I think we've just created a new website, and
I
don't know if Google's picking it up here. If you just give me
Conservatives NZ, is it?
Conservatives.
Oh yeah, there you are. There's Helen. Yeah, here we go. I think we've got it now.
The new one or the old one though?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so I've got the address. It's Te Ahu. Though if I didn't pronounce that correctly, Te Ahu Centre, 3 p.m. Sunday. Does anyone know that?
Yeah, I'll help you out, Helen. Here you go. There you go, guys. There. There you go.
Oh, you need a raise. Yeah.
There you go, guys.
Cool. Oh, cool.
Hit that up, fam. So where is it again, Helen? Read it out.
Te Ahu. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Te Ahu Centre, 3 p.m. Sunday.
3 p.m. this Sunday. We'll see you guys there. Looking forward to it. Bring your discussion. We love a debate. It's all good. We're all about, getting around the table and thrashing it out. It's okay to have differences of opinion, Martel?
Yeah, indeed. Well, it's been a pleasure as always. And come back whenever and bring your candidates. How many candidates do you have?
7 good ones.
Tell all 7. No mai hara mai. Come for a chat.
Nice.
All right, kia pai tō haere. Enjoy the journey and we'll catch you soon.
Thank you.
Shout out to Helen Horton from Conservatives Party, New Zealand. It's Hone Harawira's whare. It's at Hone Harawira's whare. Oh, the meeting. The meeting's at Hone Harawira's whare. All right, fam, I don't know if you know a guy named... actually, we'll talk about that in a second. What were your thoughts on Helen? I'm getting used to this whole not having commercials and having to cut to those and all of that stuff. So bear with me. Hopefully by next week I'll be rocked and loaded and into the scheme. And like the chat saying, it's been a big couple of days. Not the raise. You need the raise. He hasn't got to get paid. First name at the old information centre in KTA. Oh, is that where it is, Leah? KTA. Are you from Kaitaia? Like there's so much more now without ads, Lenny. We're gonna have ads though, Lenny. We're gonna have ads. We just need to get some sponsors to get us some ads. I don't know if you know anybody business. What I should start doing is reading out those packages, but we can start playing some ads if anybody wants to promote. Whatever. No more. Family care within homes, elderly, etc. Okay, all right. Well, there was a good one. 1% transaction tax, Lynette Living Woman. What are you talking about that one? 1% transaction tax. Bro, we're getting taxed too much. How about abolish some of it? Ooh, up to abolish. Please call them children, says Lynette. Yeah, that's the thing, too. Kids is a term that a lot of people... I don't know if you know about that. Do you know about the whole kids term? You nah, chat. True from Whakatane. True Whakatane. Me hometown I was born in. Bilbo Baggins. Oh, Dilbo Baggins. Not the Dilbo. Should children be uplifted from homes with no known gang members living there? Oh, is that what you reckon? Are all gang members bad, are you saying the big? You locked, loaded, and ready. You look locked, loaded, and ready. Shubz. Always, even if I'm not, we keep going. Still pull up, Friday. Still pull up. All day. Tomorrow, though, might have to, now that we're not on radio, I can. Might end the show really fun. Might end it at 6 tomorrow. It'll be a 6 o'clock show. Maybe. See how we go. Tell us, Shubz. Kid is a baby goat. That's right, Leah. Kid is a baby goat indeed. So that's why, like, there's this whakaro that people that get you to call them kids, that you're trying to get you to, like, dehumanize the children. That's why they say call them children, because kids are baby goats. Tell you what, by the viral shorts. Take GST off food, petrol, and smokes. Nah, leave it on smokes. Yeah. 1% is the only tax. P full stop. There you go. Helen's a straight talking chick. No, not really, Jeremy. I know some families that are far no 100. Yeah, I know plenty. I know plenty that are like, yeah, good humans and then the bad ones. So I'm with you. Do you know that Andrew Lesa, dude? Andrew Lesa from Manurewa. He sat down and had a chat with me. Check this out. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Shubz, and I'm here with my man, Andrew Lesa. Did I get that right or was that wrong?
Yes, perfect. You're probably half Samoan, bro.
Wow. Anyway, what am I also?
Mangue Whafkai. Not too bad, bro. The weather's looking warmer these days.
Oh, hey. Where you at right now?
Tamaki Makoto, bro.
Shout out to Tamaki Makoto. Well, for people that don't know, ko waikoe, brother, who are you?
I'm a former local board member for Manurewa.
The old Manurewa Local Board.
And I hear they've been pretty naughty recently. So I just came out to give my perspective as an outsider looking in.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think that's cool. You're a Manurewa community. Were you born, raised, all that stuff?
Yes, yeah, went to school in Manurewa. My family have always lived in Manurewa, so yeah, always been a local.
Ah, solid, bro. How long ago were you a board member again?
Just last year, bro. So my term ended on October of last year.
Did you try to get in again? Or
no, I decided not to run again. I was pretty naughty myself back then, and so it was probably best to step aside and let others run.
Oh, yeah. How long had you been a board member at that point?
That was my first term, so 3 years.
Okay. What was the biggest takeaway looking back for Andrew Lesa?
Oh, the biggest takeaway. Just to learn from your mistakes, probably the biggest lesson this past year. I made a lot of stupid mistakes when I was younger and paid for them last year. And
okay, give me some examples, brother. What kind of mistakes did they bring up? The old receipts, did they?
They brought up the receipts.
Compare you to the young you, did they?
There was a video of
to the
me
young you.
from America that they brought up where I claimed to have qualifications that I didn't have. And so they kind of used that to get me out of the election. And yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty bad when it happened.
The old dirty side of politics, eh?
Oh, yes. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it.
Heaps of people lie on their CV because you're not the only one. Yeah, I got a job without a CV, brother. How about that? Then we get paid. Let's go, brother. Well, but take us back to a life for Andrew Lesa growing up in Manurewa. What was life like for yourself?
So I grew up in a state house in Clinton. Clinton's on
yeah.
the wrong side of the tracks, as they like to say. But, you know, for me, it was just a very normal. I mean, that's my normal, right? I grew up in an overcrowded house. I had a lot of cousins coming over, lots of friends from the neighborhood. It was a very close-knit community growing up. There's a lot of poverty, but there's also a lot of talent on the rugby field, in the performing arts, in church. Some of those choirs are mean. And so there's a lot of good and bad. And, you know, I would never change that for anything. It made me who I am, right? It makes us who we are.
Solid, brother. So Marlins guy?
Yeah, league is not really a Samoan game. They play on Sundays, brother. So we're all at church. If they played on Saturdays,
be like that, my guy. I'll say you're not up the walls, man, brother. You're not up the walls guy.
Up the walls, bro. They're doing very well these days. I hope they go all the way. They're nearly there. They're at the top of the table these days.
Yeah, still there, brother. We'll see what happens. You know, hopefully, brother. Hopefully. Oh, okay. Well, did you play a bit of football growing up or rugby?
I played rugby, yeah, for Weymouth, actually, the Weymouth Rugby Club. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What position were you?
I was a prop.
Oh, yeah. Is this real or are you lying on your application? Nah!
This is not basic news again, bro.
Let's go. We're really off back here.
Bro. Oh, man.
Let's go. Yeah, but anyway, how does this life? So you said you're in America. What were you in America? What took you to America?
I was in America for what we call an Earth X Summit. So it's a climate change summit, and it brings people from all over the world to speak.
Oh, not the climate change!
Yeah, the climate change, bro. The climate change, and so I got offered a speaking role by a mate who runs the NBA Students Association in Texas, and so that's kind of how the speech started for a friend.
Oh, okay. True.
Yo.
But that speech was what hucked you over, eh?
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, it was on YouTube. So they put it out of YouTube and they started playing it in the media.
You're lucky I wasn't in the game then because I would have roasted your ass hard.
You would have? I would have gone viral, bro.
Yeah, at least you can laugh it off now, bro. But why local board, bro? What pushes you to get a local board?
I mean, at the time, I think there was only one other Samoan who had been on the local board, and her name was Sarah Woodford. But Manurewa is almost half Samoan, so I think we're like 44% of the community here. And so for a long, long time, it was a very white board. And we had Rangi McLean as well, who represented Mana Whenua. But we didn't see Islanders on the board. And so for a long time, my family, it was my mum and dad who were like, why don't you run? Why don't we see some of us on the local board? And so one thing...
Can't be what you can't see, eh, brother?
That's it, bro. You've got to see yourself at the table. What's that saying, bro? If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And so, you know, it's just about being seen, bro.
But what would you be if we were a Samoan restaurant or island restaurant? What would you be on the menu if you were?
What would I be? I'll probably be a pork bun, bro.
Come on, Andrew Lesa, a pork bun.
I look like a pork bun, bro. Let's be honest.
Me too at the moment, cousin. Me too at the moment. 100. Let's get. Wait, where's the best pork buns in the world? Where they come from?
Oh, probably Clinton, bro. So there's a Samoan shop, Auntie Evelina, in Clinton. They're the best.
Is that your auntie?
No,
not
relation,
to promote the auntie ones.
Bro.
Oh, not the auntie.
There's pork buns in the game, bro.
Well, so you decided, okay, let's do it for the people. Let's do it for the people.
Let's do it
Use
for
your
the
mystic
people.
on them.
Yeah.
Do it for the people. Let's run. You get in. What did you learn about the role that you had no idea? Because there'd be things that you'd know, but there'd be things that would have
There's a
surprised you, right?
lot of reading, bro. I remember reading stacks and stacks of meeting notes, and you've got to be on top of everything, because if you're not asking questions, then why are you even there? And so for me, it was about keeping council accountable and making sure that the people on the ground get the council services that they need. And so if you're not reading, if you're not attending events, if you're not being seen in the community, you're probably not being effective. So even though it's not a full-time job, because we're only required to be present on a Thursday for a couple of hours, it feels like a full-time job, because you've always got to have your head in the game. And that's probably the advice that I would give to anyone that's thinking about running for public office is, never let the reading, never fall behind on your reading. Because sometimes in that reading, you find a lot of strategies, a lot of important information that can make all the difference in the community.
Okay. Was there something like beside the whole speech where you talk shit like this one? Besides that, brother, is there anything? And good on you for like just talking about it and it is what it is. If you can laugh at yourself, brother, you take the ammo out of everyone's hands anyway. But besides that speech, what was something that was like a real pivotal moment, I guess, inside of that that tenure of yours?
Wow. I guess for me, it was getting the Fale Pacifica underway. So basically, there's a project in local board right now that we want to put some funding together in the community to build a fale for Pacific Islanders in Manurewa. And that was really exciting. And that was an example of what can happen when you have Pacific Islanders at the table, is that we push our priorities. Because for a long, long time, we were traveling as far as Mangere and Otara to rent their facilities, because there was nothing for Pacific people.
Can you explain that to people that don't understand what that is?
So Fale Pacifica is like a community center, a community hub where all islanders can go and host weddings and funerals and organize events.
You didn't have one there or in Manurewa?
We don't have one there right now.
Still not.
We still have individual churches, but we have nothing that kind of brings us all together under the one roof, because we have Catholics and Presbyterians and Baptists and AOGs, but we have nothing that I'm Presbyterian.
Oh yeah. So what's that mean? What's Presbyterian? What's that look like? I know, like a
Presbyterian.
If someone wants to go to you, what's the fundamental or the core principles of a Presbyterian? Like, if you were to
Protestant Reformation. So it's basically, how would I describe a Presbyterian? Because each church is self-governing, and that's the beauty of being a Presbyterian, is that you're not seen as belonging to a central. Yeah, it's almost
like it's not like I see. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, self-governing. Oh, cool, Presbyterian. Who's the first Presbyterian that came to Samoa? Do you know?
Oh, John Williams. Yeah. So he was a British dude from the London Mission.
Was he the OG to take the Bible there, brother?
Yeah, bro, he did. Yeah.
OG John Williams. Okay, and obviously you're on local board. Did you know any of like the current members now? Obviously, you said Rangi. Is Rangi still, is he?
He is.
Am I lagging or are you lagging, cuz?
Oh, am I lagging? Shit.
Can you hear me, brother?
I can hear you clearly, bro. I can see you clearly as well.
Oh yeah, sweet as.
Yeah,
dude. No, it's all good. Do you know any other those local board members? Was obviously Rangi, but did you have a connection to the rest of those? The ones that are on the
some
board
of them
now,
knew,
like Marshall?
quite a few, but most of them. So Marshall wasn't on the local board when I was on. I don't think.
Did you know him though, brother, in the community before that?
I did. Yes.
Oh yeah. Was he dodgy then? No.
Probably best that I keep my mouth shut, bro. I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Yeah. So, but so from your understanding, he was all right.
He did a lot for the community. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I always saw him picking up.
He was a good community guy.
You might have seen those videos.
I mean, anyone can film a video picking up rubbish, B. I could go film a video picking up rubbish, but yeah, okay. So how do you feel about this whole thing then? This whole situation?
Oh, it's shocking, bro. It's shocking, yeah.
on the let's go Marshall, let's go the whole entire local board situation, brother. Give me your thoughts. Let's go.
I think I don't want to preempt the outcome of the investigations, but I do think we're ready for a by-election. And from what I hear in the community, they don't have any confidence in the local board right now because they're not sure that they were actually elected. And so I think in terms of transparency, we probably need to take it back to the people. Our people are hurting. You know, we're seeing Manurewa's name in the headlines being dragged through the mud. And what that does to, people who live here, people who call Manurewa home, they want answers. They want accountability. And so I think the only way to do that is to go back to the community for a by-election. They did that in Papatoetoe, and that just gives you reassurance, that this time the election was fair, this time the election was secure, and this time people can have more faith in the process. Because right now I think people have lost a lot of respect for the election and for the elected members as well. They're not sure whether they were democratically elected, and if they weren't, then they don't have a mandate to pass budgets, they don't have a mandate to make decisions, and so there's a question there about their legitimacy, and the only way to answer that question is to take it back to the people and let the people decide whether they were democratically elected.
I mean, but there you go, eh? So I did hear some whispers that there might be somebody can come in and because you can't obviously sack a marshal or any elected official.
No, the minister can sack the local board. The minister of local,
but they can, but they can sack the whole local board or something, or like
right,
get rid of the board. Get rid of the
That's
board.
Right. So
could that potentially happen? Do you reckon, brother, or nah? What do you reckon?
It largely depends on the investigations and what those uncover. There's quite a lot of evidence for them to go through. And if the evidence proves, legit, then they probably have a very strong case to do that. I mean, they already overturned the election in Papatoetoe, right? And these allegations are far more serious.
Oh, so way worse.
Exactly. If they could overturn an election in Papatoetoe, then there's no way they can't sack a board in Manurewa because these allegations, as you say, are far more serious.
So what do you think should happen? Do you have any thoughts on what should happen?
I think Daniel Newman should resign because I say this with
explain who he is to people that don't know.
So for those who don't know, Daniel Newman is a current councillor for Manurewa, and for the last 15 years, he's been the face and the leader of the action ticket. And so for me, I think there's a question there about how he selected candidates. What was the vetting process? What kind of questions were asked? What was the supervision like on the campaign? Because it was his job as leader to supervise all candidates on the campaign. Was he a member of all the group chats? Was he supervising their behavior in the streets? Was he aware of anything untoward? Those are some of the questions that the community have a right to know. And so it's all about making sure that due diligence occurred before the election. This is
Are you still in that community now, Andrew?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you also deserve to know as well.
I live in Manurewa.
No, so you also deserve to know. When you say the community.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a ratepayer, I'm a voter. I have every right to know what went on behind the scenes. How did candidates get selected? What was the code of conduct? Was there a code of conduct? What did that look like? Was there pressure on candidates to raise money? That's another key question that perhaps Daniel Newman should answer. What were the financial conversations that they had between candidates and the ticket?
So Daniel Newman's been the face of, I know Daniel Newman, I've had him on the show quite a few times.
Yes.
But Daniel Newman's been the face of the whole ticket for 15 years, did you say?
That's right, yes. So he's been in office for nearly 20 years. But yeah, he's been the face of action for a very long time. And I think the question needs to be asked, how did he miss this? Because he's denying all knowledge of these allegations and he was the leader. And so I think the community have a right to know, how did you miss this? If you were in charge of selecting candidates, if you were in charge of supervising candidates, how did you miss this?
How could, do you think, as someone who's been in there before, do you think does it not wash with you that he had no knowledge at all?
No, it's not good enough that he had no knowledge of all. It was a small ticket. There were only 8 candidates on the ticket, and so there's no excuse for him not knowing. They were campaigning more than a year in advance. They were campaigning 2 years out from the last election, so there's no way he didn't have the time or didn't have the knowledge to know what was going on right under his nose. He would have been part of the same group chats, part of the same events. He would have, he should have first say that he didn't know. And I don't think the community buys that at all.
You're saying that then Daniel definitely knew, he's just acting like he didn't.
I think if he didn't know, then it's a question about his leadership, isn't it? Because it's his job to know. He owns the ticket. He's the leader. If he didn't know, then who did know? And so there's a question there about the checks and balances of the action ticket. If the leader didn't know, then how did it go on for so long? If the allegations are true. And so the question is, what did Daniel know and when did he know it? I think those are two key questions that the community have a right to know. And like I said, the only way to get to the bottom of these questions is to take it back to the people in a by-election.
Okay. When you're in the community, obviously you're in the community, you talk to people about, is this on people's lips? Do people want a by-election?
People are tired because we've heard all the conversations about Papatoetoe, and you know, that was really disheartening. You know, for South Auckland, you know, we get slapped and punched by the media all the time. And so when you see us in the headlines again for corruption at the election, it's not a good feeling. And, you know, you wonder why the media blames us. You wonder why the media hounds us. Whenever we do good, it's always Auckland. But when we do bad, it's South Auckland. And we're used to that. And so stories like this, you know, that cut to the heart of our people, our communities, they really destroy a lot of our pride for the community and a lot of the hard work that's been going on for years to get the voter turnout up, to get more diversity on the local boards and the council. People have been doing the hard yards for a long, long time. And stories like this, you know, they make it really hard to just accept, because I think we're better than that. And I think the community deserves better than that.
Wow. For people that don't understand, brother, what do local boards actually do? And like, because there will be people being like, what do you actually do? You know what I mean?
It's a good question, yeah, because there's a whole lot of layers in Auckland Council, and I guess the best way to say it is that a local board member answers to local ratepayers, and so there's a boundary, and it's our job to make sure that local groups are funded, local services are provided to communities, whether it's the mowing of public berms, whether it's your trash, whether it's your inorganic collection, whether it's council facilities like Mountford Park, or you know, our rugby fields, our cricket patches. All of that is funded by council, and so it's our job as local board members to make sure that that stuff happens. We prioritize, we decide where your money should go as ratepayers. We kind of feed, it's called a 3-year plan. We send that to the mayor and to councillors to get sign off. And so basically we're the face.
Well, these are like the city, the councillors for your area. So like obviously Auckland's so big that it's not like say if you're in
the people on the other side of the city, right, they have no idea what happens in Manurewa. And so it's our job as a local board to brief them. It's our job to say that this is important to Manurewa. This should be funded over that. You know, this is, So it's our job to kind of make those connections.
So besides that, so you think head should roll and then the first one should be Daniel Newman if he can't answer these things?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we need to get to the bottom of the investigations first. Let's see what they uncover. Respect the process and the professionals that are behind it. They're trained to do that. But at the end of those investigations, I think the community does expect answers, and we do expect responsibility. We expect accountability, and it has to come from the top. And so the reason I've called for Daniel's resignation is because he is at the top. He is the leader of the action ticket, and the buck stops with him. And so I think as a community, we have every right to question what he knew and when he knew it. And we have the right to question whether he was the right leader at the time, because if he didn't know what his candidates were capable of, then maybe he shouldn't have selected them in the first place. And maybe it's time for him to retire.
Time to retire. Calling him out, brah.
20 years is a long time in the game, bro. After 20 years, you need to start asking questions about, am I still bringing value to the table, or can someone else do it? Is it time for new blood? Is it time for new leadership? Those are the questions that after 20 years, he should be asking himself anyway.
Yeah. Let's go. All right then, brother. Anything else you want to add to all of that, cousin?
I think we've said enough, bro. I think his lawyers will be after me after this.
Lawyers. That's all right. You'd be all right, cousin. Well, if you do, I don't think you said anything. Did you say anything that you don't believe, or anything?
No, not at all.
Are we going back to America when you gave the fake speech? Or?
This was published by RNZ, bro, so I stand by this.
Okay.
This is already in the public domain, bro. Don't worry. I've got lawyers too, bro.
Oh, Andrew Lesa, let's go. Anything you want to leave the people of Manurewa with? Like, let's give them some hope, cuz.
All right, let's give them some hope. I don't think this is the end. I think this is the worst of us, but this doesn't have to define us. I think we can still come back from this, and we can still heal as a community. We can still do better than this, and I think we deserve better than this. Leadership is in the blood. You know, South Auckland is a global talent hub. We've got some of the best dancers, some of the best rugby players in the world. Some of the best Olympians in the world have come from South Auckland. David Longy has come from South Auckland. So this is not the end for South
John
Auckland.
Key,
John Key, I'm not sure, bro. Maybe.
No.
But there's a
No, I don't know where John Key come from. I know he came from he came from the hood though somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Nah, bro, it's been a pleasure, brother. Big love.
Thanks for having me on the show, bro. All the best,
and,
man.
Yeah, thank you for giving us your time. And
Cheers.
Daniel Newman, if you want to respond, you know where to hit me on my boat. Church. And Andrew Lesa says 20 years is enough. Well, what do you reckon about that chat? What do you reckon about Andrew Lesa and our little corridor, our Rian? Interesting. Where do you sit with all that, fam? Someone needs to check those insurance companies too. What earthquake? What are we talking about, Lulu B? Fale. Not the fale. This guy is real fake dicky. Oh, true new media. You're not buying it, eh? Not buying the cars. Microchip all representatives. Oof. Mark of the beast. Is that what they call it? Manurewa education. The Rotorua Local Board is the most corrupted in the whole of Auckland boards. Why is that? Who's on there? Who's on there that would say that? David Longy, food trucking. David Longy laughs at some of the kaka artists. Interesting. Shithole dunners. Yeah. They look too fly out there, that's for cheesy. Maybe there was no slander on Daniel, just his thoughts. No slander on Daniel. What do you reckon? How do you feel about it all, though, around Daniel? Do you think Daniel should resign? Do you think his head should roll like Andrew Lesa saying, or nah? They're all slippery as butcher's pricks. Why did Jim have a bulger? Because David had a longie. Well, anyway, fam, joining us will be my man, Hughes, Oliver John Hughes. I just found out. Independent for Kaikoura electorate in this election. My man, how are we, brother?
Yeah, kia ora, bro. Hope you're doing well there, Shubz.
Yeah.
Bit of drama, eh? Making the headlines, mate.
Yeah. Not the first time, and probably won't be the last.
Mate, we got to support our independent journalists, eh, man?
Yeah, well, you're
can't just be one source of truth. We got to have a couple more, eh, and let everybody share an opinion.
Have a go, eh?
Yeah, small country
are they giving you a shake out there, bro? Are they giving you a shake out there?
Oh, a few have, yeah. It's been good, bro. Early on in the campaign, I've had a few interviews. So, yeah, that's been good. Cool. I've just been making noise online. You know me, bro.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, though, brother.
Yeah. Getting the word out there.
That's where everybody's listening right now anyway, online.
Getting the name out there right there, so, yeah.
Yeah, bro. So, all right, brother. First of all, I know you've been on, but it's a little while ago now, so let's refresh the people. Ko wai koe, who are you, and what's the go?
All right, ko Oliver John Tuka Wingawa. No Kaikoura Ho, running for independent. I'm not a part of any party. Just going to bring a strong voice for the region once again. So that's the plan, bro. Just trying to get everybody to get behind the independent vote, the candidate vote, party vote who you like. But yeah, candidate vote myself if you really want to see the economy grow and jobs come back to the Kaikoura region.
Yes, go, Oliver. If I could
just want to take a chance, bro, to say my thoughts and prayers are with the people of Nepal. They've had a terrible disaster there we know what environmental disasters can be like here. So just want to share our thoughts there from Aotearoa, New Zealand to them.
I didn't even know, bro. So you tell me what happened.
Yeah, bro. It's a terrible event over there. So of course, just want to say that my thoughts and prayers are with them. And been busy today, but I've also been looking into that and just hoping that everybody there is okay, because the media report, there's hundreds of missing, but there's really, if you listen to the locals if you listen to the broadcasting and the interviews online, the locals are saying that there's lots and lots of people missing, thousands of people. So
I'm looking at different headlines here, and it's saying hundreds on CNN, and then it's saying it's like in thousands on other platforms. So.
That's right. As always, we'll always be here to help them out, bro. Whether that's sending people over there or food over there or something. So just that's
and shout out to the home of the biggest mountain too, Chomaluma, as they call it, Chomaluma, Mount Everest.
They're right there in between the two borders of India and China, eh?
That's right,
brother. Yeah, just wanted to say that, my bro.
No, appreciate that. Okay, so what have you learned since you begun this journey, or since at least you and I got to talk last time on here? I'm not on radio anymore, but we are still doing an online podcast, so we keep that rolling. Well, what's transpired since we last spoke?
Oh, just got to focus on the matters that be. Make sure that everything I'm saying is as good as possible and correct as possible before I put it out there, and just making sure we're focusing on the key things that matter to Kiwis the most, like cost of living and stuff, not divisive policies and silly things that they're putting through Parliament, wasting time. It's time to just focus on growing the economy and getting jobs back, I think, bro. And
have you got an example of like silly things that they're pushing through Parliament that's wasting time?
Oh, well, there's a few bills that they kind of been pushing for the last few years. At the moment, it's the under 16 ban. I think if you look at the news tonight, they're saying that in America they're going to be regulating Meta a lot harder, so that there's restrictions on 16-year-olds going online. It's a serious debate, and it's very mixed opinion as well. So yeah, I'm looking at it quite from an angle. And I haven't taken a side on it. So if I do have to vote on it, I still don't really know. I'm sort of in between abstaining on the vote or agreeing or saying no. It's hard to know. So hopefully the bill doesn't actually go through. And again, it's just a waste of time, bro. There's other ways to doing it without having to make a big hoorah on the mainstream media. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, what's something that's been prevalent amongst the people that you've come across in your electorates as you've been going around? What are people talking about that they're unhappy with? What's the common theme?
Yeah, good question, bro. Well, I've been recently in Kaikoura, where they've had some impacts from recent rainfall and the rivers getting filled with gravel. So there's river restoration work that needs to take place there, and that needs to be supported by central government. So upon election, I've got a bill there that we'll put through government, which creates an alliance in the region of contractors, and the government support that, fund that a wee bit, and get moving so that we can extract gravel, sell it, and get it, just get the town secure again. Because obviously with the rain that we're having even at the moment, it's just a worry. You're sitting there worrying about if we're going to go through what we went through a month ago. It was only 250 millimetres of rain as well. So yeah, we need to get on top of that before we see more impacts from the river.
Okay. How far is that from where you grew up, bro? Is that near you?
Yes, that is where I grew up, but also Huranui, inland.
It's affected quite a broad area.
And the inland route, and also up in Blenheim as well. They're also getting affected by this, the rivers being filled up with gravel. So yeah, we just got to get on top of it and give the contractors the power, not bureaucrats.
So much bureaucracy, so much bureaucracy taking a lot of the people's money, man. It's crazy, and
it costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to do the work as well. So we need to put our energy and time into getting the work done, because we're starting to see the major impacts of what just too much hui and not enough dui can do.
Yeah, hard. Speaking of dui, you've talked about building a regional prosperity. What does that actually mean in practical terms? Give us 3 things you would fight for first. Well, once you get that seat. Manifesting, brother?
Yeah, well, regional prosperity is just bringing people into the region to grow the retail and grow the cash, keep the business open, and obviously job growth as well is key, and that's what we need. Is small industries growing, our dairy farmers getting better representation in Parliament, I believe, so that we can stop all this red tape, regulation and high costs for them, and we can just move on with what they need to get done and get the country moving and exports growing and all of that, man, because that's how our country makes money, and that's what has to be done. Every single day we're $50 million in debt more. So we're, spending more than we're making. So that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, we've got one of the great questions here. Who the hell has a dartboard in their living room? George Ngatai.
Oh, that's not really a question that matters, is it, bro? It's not addressing the cost of living.
Good luck to you going up against Takita Ferris. No, he's not going up against Takita Ferris. He's in a different electorate. Takita's on the Māori role.
Yeah, I'm on a general role. But yes, I am representing all Māori, everybody, anyone that's a resident in New Zealand that can vote, I'll represent as best as I can.
Yeah. Fuck the tax fart. Tax fart. What do you mean? Yeah, no. Any want to dive a little bit into some of these policies? You've obviously got a few if you're running.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, independent for Kaikoura. Obviously not aligned to any parties. So the policies are coming from the ground up. It is exactly what the people are asking for. So I just want to get in there and get on with it. I'm not, as I said, not aligned to any interests of any parties or anything like that. Just the main core policies of growing the country and getting jobs. I'll be also, advocating for the maintenance of our state highway that's been getting affected by the rivers. We've had a washout, and we don't want any more problems happening. So we're going to be getting on top of that to restore the state highways, because every time we have a weather event in Kaikoura, we seem to be getting nailed by rain, and also in Blenheim and Huranui as well. So just something that needs to be majorly focused on in the region. That's what people are asking for. Yeah.
Going up against the blue wall, as you said last time you were on.
That's right, but unfortunately, the blue wall hasn't worked for about 20 or 30 years. Before the blue wall was independent leadership through Richard Seddon. Before he went on with his political career, he started in that region, and he brought a lot to that region for farmers. And I think it's time to take note of that and say, maybe the parties aren't working. Maybe we should just put someone in from the ground up.
Tanya Gates says, happy to vote you in, sick of the main parties. Let's go. There you go.
Yeah, I wish there was bigger, better, more independents across the country running. Yeah, but in my electorate, I don't hear of them. I don't really hear of them, but it'd be great if there were, that weren't aligned to party interests and just wanted to get on with it. People that come from people. It's got to be people that come from upbringings of, hands-on mahi as well. You can't just go to university and come out and go straight to politics. You have to, more experience the better, I think.
Speak about that. What kind of hands-on mahi have you done for people that never heard of you before?
Fair enough. Yeah. So when I was younger, I worked in youth leadership, sort of I was the chairperson of a youth council and chairperson of a skate park committee. So my upbringing was a lot of community leadership, and then also a Māori warden in my hometown, Kaikoura. And then after that, I went into a career. I studied event technology, and then went into a career of music, sound, lighting, DJing, entertainment, MCing, and then also radio hosting as well when I was younger. And then I moved home and started working in the local family business, which we ran for about 7 years, a top shop. So, yeah, I know about, how the business works hands-on, paying all those bills, keeping up with it, the power, how much it goes up, food costs, how much that goes up. And that's big knowledge to have going into Parliament, coming from a family business and managing that, and also promoting and marketing that business as well. And then more recently, I've been doing security, horticulture, chefing. They are my main skills, bro. We've been working in the last couple of years, but mainly security for the last few years.
Yeah, definitely says up the Māori wardens. People loving that. That's really cool. What did that teach you, bro? Doing the old Māori warden, mate?
Well, that taught us how to run an emergency operations centre, which is, a pretty big responsibility for the community. So whenever there's an earthquake or anything serious that happens, and the council has to respond and get things moving and get people safe, the EOC, Emergency Operations Centre, is a bunch of people that are trained to do it. And I was fortunate to be able to go through that training. So I know those serious, what it's like in the heat of the moment, having to go into that through the training, and also going through our earthquake and more recent weather events. So that's always, that training through security, or whether it's a weather event, is always being used, that management and just responding to high level risk moments.
Jeremy Ngatai says, respect Oliver, hands on mahi.
Yes, mate.
Fooding, trucking says, you fellas, crayfish is too expensive. Well, I think that's part of it, is he wants to try and lower some of those things. Eh? If you can lower everything else, then those might be a bit cheaper.
Preserve sustainability, like you say. So at the moment they have a 3-month ban. That's pretty good. Not too long. So fishermen will be back to it, crayfishing in a couple of months. So we have to look at sustaining our future, making sure there's food there in the future, and also growing our farms, mate. It's been very hard for the farmers to get ahead the last long time because of regulations and red tape. So we've got to stop it and just let them get ahead.
If someone was to ask you, where do you like? What's your political, I guess, ideologies? Or like, what are you socialist? What are you?
Independent centrist. So we get the best of both worlds. No te roro, nā ku te roro, ka ora tātou te iwi. So, get the best of this food basket and good use of it. So if Labour's got a good idea, then we might make use of it. Or if, National's got a good idea. But at the moment, obviously, I think there isn't a good option. That's why I'm running. Otherwise, I wouldn't run.
In the past, have you voted?
Yeah, I've voted, but again, it's always been tough making that decision, eh? As I said, I'm a centrist, so I sort of float in the middle. I'm not left or right. Yeah. Yeah,
you're not so tribal to one side or the other.
No, just try to get on with the key policies, like getting youth into jobs, my bro, because there's a lot of youth.
Yeah. Okay, explain their policy?
Well, that policy is through the re-establishment of the Ministry of Works. They got rid of it a few years ago. We got a full documented policy, which I got ready. And upon election, if I'm elected, I hope to just, on day one, re-establish the Ministry of Works. People get a bit scared off by it and think that it's another bureaucratic process. But today, in 2026, we've got modern technology that we can utilise. So hopefully we can do that and not have as many people in the public sector, more people just working hands-on in areas such as pest control, wilding pines, wetland restoration, and also energy efficiency, because we want to roll out solar and make, get our power bills down. We need workers for that. So through the Ministry of Works, they'll provide training for the people that are on the benefit, haven't got much skills, vulnerable. We'll help them with small investment. The investment will come from a 2% reallocation of the defence budget, because everybody knows the defence budget is huge, bro. So yeah, we can take 2% of that. It's not going to hurt anybody. We're a small country at the bottom of the earth. We don't, our boys are really highly trained, and that's what we should be putting money into, not the great war machine of Israel and all the rest of them.
Okay, so you're taking 2% of the defence budget to fund this idea of yours.
Yeah, the Ministry of Works, which is going to seriously tackle the debt deficit, which I was talking about earlier, of $50 million a day.
Yeah. What about this? He will be swearing allegiances to the sovereign when he becomes an MP in Parliament, like all other MPs do, Leah.
Well, yeah, because we signed a treaty. So that's sort of the process, isn't it? To be able to govern in our country and have a democracy, we signed a treaty, and if we didn't, I don't know what our country would be like today. So no point talking about the past or living in the past. We've got to get on with it and use what we can. We're not a communist country or anything else, so we might as well keep what we got, and that is our sovereignty, making sure our grandchildren have what we still have today.
Caleb Lambourne says, Ollie, I've watched for a long time, nothing but a stand-up guy. Who is he running for, this centrist? Fale Paia, he's running as an independent, no party allegiance.
I think I know Caleb.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, good on you, mate. Stand-up guy. I've been elected, mate. That's more than just stand-up. I've got things done. I'm a Māori warden. You can call me a stand-up guy, but I'm out there doing it.
But you know him in real life? Is that what you're saying? Is he
He
trolling
knows
you?
I come from youth leadership. I don't know what he's talking about. He's obviously had too much of those drugs that the cops aren't getting on top of, that we need policy to tackle.
Okay,
Yeah.
you got a policy for that one too?
Well, it's just basic, better use of resources, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Just encouragement and support and training, things like that. Yeah, you don't have to come up with radical policy for everything. Just
Any other policies you want to tap into while you're here?
Well, in the region of the Kaikoura electorate, which stretches from Picton to Christchurch, during my whole upbringing, we had a passenger rail train where you could catch a train to Blenheim, Picton. So you could catch a train from Kaikoura to Picton and catch the ferry to Wellington, not have to jump in a car. But they got rid of that after the earthquake. Obviously, we went back to stock rail, but now it's been about 10 years since the earthquake and we still don't have passenger rail. So I will advocate and get Kiwi Rail to allocate budget, reallocation of budget towards passenger rail, and also a small subsidy from government if we can afford to, so that parents and family can also catch the train and grow the local economy. If we can get people on that train, and just invest $5 per head or $10 per head, that'll encourage a lot of spending in the local economy, which hasn't come in a long time. So yeah, it's just straight up promotion of our region, bro, and getting people there.
Oh, cool. Rookie 103 says, what about stop selling farmland to plant these BS pines to overseas investment? New Zealand has been sold, and I don't think anyone is going to make a difference. We are already 90% sold out of assets. Pushback on that? Any pushback there, Oliver?
I'd like to see in the 80s and 70s we had high sheep numbers, which would have meant per person, just the price of land would have been a little bit less. We now have a lot less sheep numbers, so yeah, they've got a point. We need to even it out a bit so that we can continue to grow exports, but also make sure that the cost is not too much for family. I went to buy 2 lamb shanks the other day, $25, man. 2 lamb shanks. I didn't know that was a delicacy. So there you go, like crazy, eh?
Yeah. Crazy, bro.
Lamb shanks at a restaurant, normally $20.
Yeah, look, Caleb's come back. Yes, mate. We used to go to church together. I was sending that message as a super mate. I support you.
Right. Good to hear, mate. Leave it there. Onwards and upwards with the policy.
Onwards and upwards. Hey, but yeah, you need the people that obviously he must live in the area, so he could be a voter and would influence other voters. So, but yeah, he's not here. He's not here for muck around, old Ollie.
Yeah,
he's here to run the ball.
Got to keep it positive always, People that are trying their best. I understand if they've been in Parliament for a long time and done nothing, but when you're just giving it a go now, you've got to give them a chance, not just bicker them and bark at them like they do in Parliament. I'm going there to really represent you. So, yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. Viral Shorts has asked, can you skin mutton?
Skin a mutton?
Yeah.
All day, every day, mate. I'll skin anything I have to. Keeping it PG. We've got to keep it PG, Shubz.
Oh, you can do whatever. I'm not on radio anymore. We're just a podcast now. You can say whatever. Hey, but anything else you want to leave the people with before we be live on everywhere, brother? Anything else you want to leave the people with before we get out of here?
Yeah, so as I've said, my main 2 policies, but also anything that the government comes up with, the current parties like New Zealand First or ACT, that are putting Kiwis first, growing the economy, bringing jobs to the region, regional development, I'll support that. But as an independent, I'm going there to make the best decisions as the people from a independent standpoint, not aligned to anybody, especially globalist interests. Obviously, people like Bill Gates that want genetic modification on our foods. They want data centers, digital ID. If people haven't noticed yet, the government is 2 wings of the same bird representing these ideologies, and it's time to stop it and go back to basic Kiwi leadership. So that's what I promised to bring through my policy of re-establishing the Ministry of Works, of course, and just bring strong leadership. Cheer, my bro.
Sweet, bro. We got one last question here from Tanya or Fale Paya says, so where is he from and why should he get my vote? He is from Kaikoura, so if you're in that electorate, he's running as an independent, no party affiliation. Yeah, how do you feel about the Kirengu Poodle Farm having to import Aussie for medical meds and not New Zealand? Big love to Carlo Parks too on YouTube.
It's a crazy one because we can the government can legally grow and industry can legally grow, but people that actually use it, medical users, can't actually grow legally. They get done or people go to jail, and it's just a plant. So, there's bigger things to focus on, like the big M word, the P. So my opinion is it's good that that's there, but we should really try and get it for the people that need it in New Zealand for their injuries and other things that they use it for. So, well, obviously export is great, but we need to make it affordable and accessible. Like starting with a shop in Blenheim or Kaikoura that sells it would be a bloody start, but we have to decriminalise it. So I'll be bringing that advocacy to make sure that the New Zealand can make more money off it, but also get the people that need it, and then there's less of a black market and there's less criminal activity. So it has to happen. It's just stupid what's going on now. It's a waste of police resources. There's Class A drugs to worry about. That's what I have to say on that one.
Yeah, well, shout out to you, bro. Hey, we should do this like once every couple of weeks or something, just to keep the people involved. So since you are an independent, and the more exposure the man can get, the better. And I like your no nonsense approach. So keep doing it, brother.
Yeah, no, thanks, bro. And as I said, people, the parties have been in charge for way too long. Self-idealistic, globalist policy that isn't about growing jobs. We've been losing jobs. There's more people on the benefit. We're learning this from both parties. So, get out and candidate vote for your independent for Kaikoura, a boy that's lived there for 25 years. Cheers, my bro.
Cheers, my bro. Big love to the bro, Ollie, Hughes, Oliver, John, Hughes. Cool to catch up with him again. And he don't muck around. He's keen. He's there for the people. And again, he's got no party lines to follow. He's all about it. So shout out to all the whānau that have been in there, sending the bro love, sending us love, and any of our guests tonight. We continue the journey here as he's an independent and we're independents. We're free agents now. So independent journalism, as the bro said, is important. Why not have multiple voices than just that one echo chamber that exists that controls all the information? Hey, whānau. And if you do support this channel, if you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're watching, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting, liking, sharing, commenting. Even if you don't like us, that still helps us. So appreciate you. It's been a day. It's been a week, to be honest. Who knows what tomorrow brings? We'll see, I guess. But thank you again. Sending love and blessings to you all. Jeremy Ngatai, Def, Food, Trucking, Food Dogs Trucking. Who else we got in here? Good night, fam. Lenny, my man. Anybody that wants to contact me, shubslive@gmail.com. One word, shubslive@gmail.com. Whether you got ideas for the show segments, any support that you want to give us, whether it's like, hey, these are some ideas that I have, or maybe what are your sponsorship packages, reach out to me. I'll send you to Karina and we can do it like that. But we will have ads eventually, but obviously we just got kicked off radio without even knowing this week, so we've still got to figure all that out. But until then, you'll just be listening to me talk and whoever decides to join us. Big love and the blessings. Hey, PJ Ormsby, shout out to you for becoming a member, and big up to Caretaker too for becoming Caretaker, Carlo Parks, but shout out Caretaker all day. Carlo Parks for the $20, I think it was New Zealand or dollars. Appreciate that, man. All of it goes a long way. Thanks, Shabbat. Big love, Judith Albert. To the Judith Shabbat. You guys, Shubz Live, working for yourself benefits you and us. Kia ora Tanya. Blessings, Fukta Radio. I'm actually enjoying this way more. I don't have to, even though I've got to adjust, I'm enjoying it more. But also, we've got to be grateful that taught me a lot. We move on, we carry on, see what happens anyway. Bless up to you all,